Hello everybody and welcome to tonight's coverage for the start of the Full-Length Cup Challenge postseason. Tonight, we're excited to bring you all the action from iRacing's virtual Darlington Raceway here in Darlington, South Carolina. Here on Maconi Entertainment, we're bringing out the action from all types of racing, including this series and many others. No matter what you're racing, we can bring the action to life. My name's Justin Prince. Alongside the booth once more is Kirk Mills. Working our producer tonight is Howie Burrows. Kirk, it's a challenging race to start things off. The Southern 500 begins the postseason, and it's now 16 drivers that all carry a chance to win a championship.
All year has led down to this moment here. It's going to be really exciting to see how these playoff guys are going to be battling here, the Lady in Black. You know they're going to get into the wall week in and week out. But tonight, as you can see on the board, it is widespread. Andrew Dyson at the top, 40 points to the good, can afford to have a bad race. But if you're somebody like Matthew Long, who's actually not going to be starting in tonight's race, he's already at a big disadvantage, almost in a must-win position for next week. But the guys like Cameron Stone, Sean O'Brien Jr., they have got to perform and they got to be up front to start and stay in all three races at the front.
And really, it all starts with Darlington, to say the very least, where we've seen some challenges from competitors in the spring, but it's going to be very difficult to run 500 miles for these competitors. Remember, racetracks on the schedule: Darlington, Gateway, and then here Bristol will be amongst the bracket once again in the opening round for this season. You see that on the schedule. And remember, you have Crown Jewels a part of that. Two of the Crown Jewels are in this tournament for the championship. The round of 16 features both the Southern 500 and Bristol, Kirk.
Yeah, they're going to end up winning $100. The winner of this race wins $100 because it's a Crown Jewel event. And what you're going to notice out there on the racetrack today is you're going to see gold bumpers on all the front ends and the name plates and the tail ends of the cars. You're going to see them on all of our playoff drivers. And in the relative, you'll see them as white number backgrounds. That's how you're going to be able to tell who's who when this race gets back going underway. But it's going to be one of those races where tire wear is going to play a huge part in it, about 4 to 4.5 seconds slower at the end of the run versus the start of the run. It's going to be exciting. 13 tire limits, too. You got to make them last the full 367 laps, and it's going to be exciting.
So, as things get standard, the final driver setting things up, these stages, like in real life, going to be about 115 laps apiece. You're talking about, in this race, you might have a two-stopper per stage here, Kirk, just because of how hard the tire wear is going to hit. How would you play these stages? Would you make it a one-stop, try and save sets, even though there's plenty of them? Or do you try and go and prioritize tire wear at a racetrack where, in some of the official races, it's been good to minimize the tire fall off on your time overall that can fall off as much as 1 to 1.5 seconds?
You absolutely, you hit the nail right on the head. What are you going to do? I think the best thing that the drivers are going to be needing to do is keeping the tires on the car, trying to minimize that fall off. Exactly what you said. But if you're a driver like Joseph Galata, he only has 6 starts this season. He's won one race earlier 2 weeks ago whenever he won at Richmond. But he just started and he's on the pole for tonight. So he ain't here for points. He ain't there for that. He is going to be someone that wants to lead every lap of this race. You see him in the middle of pit road right now in that 99 car. He will be a common contender up front most of the night. Another driver that comes to mind in a similar position is Robert Miller. He's not in the playoffs either. He's going to be starting 8th tonight, trying to get his first win of the season. He started 20 races this year and has 5 top 5s. He's in a position where he could definitely be able to try and stay alive and keep the tires on the car, but I think those two are going to be more aggressive because they know they don't got as much to lose. But if you're drivers, everybody else in the top 10 were playoff guys, so about 8 cars in the playoffs made the top 10 for qualifying. If you're one of those drivers, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to save your stuff and understand that you cannot crash out of this event. You have to make it all the way through the race, because if you crash out, you are going to be in a deep hole, and it's going to take you a long time to get back. And when you go to St. Louis and when you go to Bristol, it's hard to pull out of those holes. So I think you got to be really careful here at Darlington if you're in the playoffs at all.
Such a challenge tonight, to say the very least, to see how things shape up. But the warm-up session just completed here. Again, on your banners tonight, when it comes to the left side of your screen, all the playoff drivers will have white backgrounds for those numbers. We'll see that in just a little bit. But the competitors now getting set to go racing for the place they call to top the team, Darlington Raceway. We'll see how things start off. Qualifying took place during the week. Here's a look coming up on how they will start tonight here on Maconi Entertainment. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. Joseph Galata starts on the pole tonight. He continues a hot streak since starting off in the series a while ago. Your first driver, and you'll be all drivers with just last names in session. Patrick Gitter is the first of the playoff drivers. Then Jonathan Delaney and Lucas Hoitzma are a part of your top four. In row number 3, Clayton Hoffman starts to the inside of the 92. Outside, Adam Benefield in the Conti car. Ralph Hutchinson starts next to the next driver non-playoff, Robert Miller. Keep an eye on him to be contender tonight. Alex Murray puts up a 9th place qualifying run. Well, it's going to be Paul Hill in the 10th position, Kirk.
Starting in 11th tonight will be Andrew Dyson in the 41 and to his outside. You got Heitman there on the outside in 12th. Starting in 13th tonight, you got Nolan Hodgson and to his outside Nicholas Vroman. Starting in the 15th place spot, you got Ryan S. Jones, not a playoff guy, same as Tyler Hunter to his outside in 16th. 17th, it looks like that's going to be Neil Pearson, and to his outside will be Thomas Kolmacheski. Starting in 19th tonight will be the driver of the 57, Cameron Stone, playoff driver, and to his outside another playoff driver, has not won this year, Matt DiCiani, starting in 20th.
Stephen Williams starts 21st with Devin Madero's 22nd in one of the precision cars in paint scheme. Bobby Anderson starts alongside another playoff driver, O'Brien Jr., Sean O'Brien. William Owens and Kyle Amon makes an appearance tonight with Chad Sander and Tanner Marty. 29th goes to Alex Princeton. Dave Hoitzma with a retro look in 30th. Billy Brickley way far back alongside Daniel Llewellyn. And last in the order, after having an issue in qualifying, Kevin Zosiak rounds out the 33 entries here tonight. A smaller grid here at Darlington, but we're just about ready to rev up for a second year start.
Oh, man, it's the playoffs. I'm excited, man. Here we go. We're going to see who's going to win us a championship here. Who's going to make it to the round of 16? Who's going to make it all the way to the end and win this thing? We're going to start to find out tonight. Here they come off turn number 4. Pace car's gone. We're in that restart zone. They're going to drop the green flag and boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys, from Darlington.
3 wide already for second. Hold on one moment. Bit of a bold move from the retro look of Jonathan Delaney, but the rest of the field able to quickly get themselves sorted out for the most part as the battles heat up in the mid-pack.
Battles all over the place, but the top spot is pretty much all Galata. Second place is the first battle. You got Hoitzma on the top and Patrick Gitter on the bottom trying to make it work. But crossing the line, it's going to be Galata leading the first lap of the day as Hoitzma and Gitter continue racing into turn 2.
Yeah, they are not backing off, and it's so difficult to be able to make a pass here. You have to get some give and take, and right now neither of them give it in. Not afraid to burn up their stuff to fight for this spot.
They're the only ones that are side by side that last time by. The only one now making a move is Robert Miller on the top side, but into the wall for Hoitzma. A couple hits. He is going to take the advantage after using the wall to help the car turn a little bit there on the exit of turn 4.
Bit of a challenge to say the very least, but they're able to sort themselves out, and now it gets difficult. As said, it's hard to pass here at the Lady in Black. Single line racing, but it's either you run the wall or in most cases people like to wrap that bottom of the racetrack in 3 and 4. You have some options to search around, but it is a racetrack hard to get a chance side by side unless somebody falls off.
It's going to be a long race here. We're not here for the hard door-to-door racing early on. You're just going to be trying to keep the car underneath you. It's going to feel loose. It's early. You got fresh tires. Got to get them up to temperature. But one thing I'm thinking about is that whenever you go into turn number 1, they get so close to that outside wall. Take a look at how close they go into turn 1 if we can get an angle of it. They just get right up on it, a little low on entry, then right up to the outside wall, inches off the thing, hitting it most of the time, and then arc it right back down and straight onto the back stretch with as much momentum as you can carry. You do not want to get out of the line when you're going through turn number 2. Going up a little higher into the marbles really kills your car.
So easy to just slam the wall and just decimate your right front. Earlier today I was running a race, for example. This car, if you're not too careful, can just snap around at a moment's notice or just shove in the corner and take you to a Darlington stripe. And it's so easy to break a tie rod if you didn't hit too hard trying to get a Darlington stripe.
Yeah, I think toe links are also another thing that you can really kill here. The car just does not want to steer once that happens. I can tell you right now that the only guy who I think is having the best day of his life is Joseph Galata. He's up front running 29.3s right now. Whenever they were in practice, they were running around 28.7s at qualifying pace. So they're only 3/10 off from what they ran in qualifying. But what I can say is that for this race here, Galata's just got one goal: stay in clean air and avoid all the other cars and still give room to the playoff guys. You can't really race them as aggressively as you would want. From what we heard from the race control inside of their announcement to all drivers, they said they warned all drivers to be as cautious around the playoff guys as possible. Race them cleanly. They don't want them to affect this playoff. They want it to be natural, clean, and green. So right now, that leader, Joseph Galata, looking in out his mirror, he sees Hoytsma right there. Let me tell you right now about him. He had the fastest lap of the race earlier this year when he ran here in the spring. So he didn't quite win the race, but he had the fastest lap. So he's got a pretty good car underneath him right now.
We've seen him be very sporty, to say the very least. Since Galata started racing in this series, picked up a win at Richmond, has in the 6 starts, though, also led a lot of laps. How many laps specifically? Plenty of them. 581. 52% of the laps he's turned, he's been able to lead since joining the series. So that 99 has been hooked up. And if you seen him make the whole season with that type of speed, arguably could have been one of the championship front runners. But
absolutely, yeah, you're right, 100%. Could absolutely have been one of the championship front runners if he ran the whole season. That's the problem.
He has a chance to play spoiler. That's the bigger thing in terms of the seeding tonight.
I'm thinking about it. If he wins this race, that doesn't lock anybody in. If you win a race, you're locked in, good to go to the next round. That's an important thing to note. If you're guys like Hoytsma, Patrick Gitter, Delaney, these guys, you know you can win this race. But you got one guy who's standing in the way that might not lock you into the next round. So if you have a bad week at St. Louis or a bad week at Bristol, you're going to have trouble getting through. You're going to be able to look back at this moment and be like, man, I wish I would have done something to get to Galata. But right now it's early on. We don't know how it's going to look throughout the course of the run. But we're looking at Vroman right here, who's kind of in the middle of a mess. He's got a car right in front of him, Alex Murray there in the 7, and he's trying to chase him down right now, kind of stuck in this single file line.
Stuck in the train right behind Alex Murray. And that's the tough thing, is getting track position here in general. Has an opportunity to go for a pass this time, a little bit better off the corner exit for 2 to set up 3. But it takes so much patience to get the passes done. It's almost like a short track in terms of how much time it takes to set up one pass here, Kirk, let alone multiple.
He just made it look pretty dang good in turns 3 and 4. He turned it down to the bottom, and he was able to get right on by that 7 car of Alex Murray. He moves up an extra spot to 12th. But what you're going to notice is that you got these 2 VRS cars running right here. That's Hoffman and Miller. These guys are in a position where one of them's in the playoff and the other one isn't. I think that 15 car is going to do everything in his power to try and help that 92 do well here. He's going to do everything he can to try and make sure Hoffman gets a great finish. Right now running 5th. He might do some blocking for him. I don't know. But if I were a teammate, that would be my number one priority, making sure my buddy is able to get to where he needs to go without any troubles, as long as it doesn't affect my day.
Yeah, so much about this is going to be driving the racetrack, absolutely. And right now, seeing some of the gaps start to really form up. 24th on forward within 10 seconds. Berkeley on back have already lost more than a second to the rest of the pack. But so far, the Altus machines, you see them working together. Robert Miller up a couple spots. Starting to chip away a little bit, just a touch bit quicker than the driver who builds the sets.
I think that at this point, that 15 is going to realize, I don't know what their plan is. I think it depends on the team dynamic. But if he's going to choose to just ride behind the 92 and wait for the right time, because I think the 92 is actually chasing down Delaney a small amount. He sees him and he's in the picture. You see him right there in the 6 car. I think the 15's a little quicker though, and he's going to try and make a pass here. That's going to be surprising. I'm sure that the 92 is just going to let him go, being teammates.
Yeah, not surprised to let him on go because Robert Miller, you can strongly argue, Kirk, if he hadn't had the most horrific luck all year when it comes to actually finishing the races, would have won a couple races instead of being a fringe outside the playoffs driver on points. He just couldn't finish races. And every time he was up front, just bad luck strike after bad luck strike seemed to hit.
Absolutely right. I mean, that 15 car had so many accidents, hellacious hits. I remember a handful of them were just absolutely chaotic. Overcorrections into the wall, hard contact due to a wreck right in front of him, couldn't go anywhere. I mean, that 15 car, he does everything he can to try and win these things, and he stays up front when he's up at the beginning of these things. But now he's all over the back bumper Delaney. He's got to be trying to remember that finishing's the goal here. You know, if we look at his stats, something that surprises me, he led 381 laps this season so far out of 20 starts. That's more than some of the playoff guys. I mean, he has more laps led than Adam Benefield, Ralph Hutchinson, and like a few others. I mean, it's amazing to me that he's able to be up front that much, but wasn't able to secure a playoff spot. That just tells you that the luck on his end has indeed, as you said, Justin, just absolutely bombed his entire season.
Now at this point, the focus is on just getting the best of the rest. 381 laps led on the season. Now making a pass on the outside as Delaney lets him have it. Overall, 23rd in the standings entering tonight after this playoff seeding. So we'll see how things shape up as Delaney slipping on back a little bit, falling into the 30.1s last time by. I'm just going to say this outright. Fall off is hitting a lot harder than it has in A Open officials. We're seeing some drivers fall for only half a second or 1 second. These drivers have fallen off a cliff right now with the tire attempts.
I mean, I'm surprised when you look at the track temp, it's only 94 degrees. I mean, it ain't that hot, but you know, something's on my mind I'm thinking about right now. We're focusing on these front guys that are having a good run. They're trying to make sure that their cars are being taken care of. But you got to start thinking about those drivers that are in need of having good days, and they are just not right now. One driver that comes to mind is O'Brien Jr. right now. He's back in 21st last time by. I saw him get loose, almost hit the wall a couple times. That's 65. Sean, he's just not having a good start to this race. He needs to make some adjustments, do something to get him back up towards the front, because if he wants to stay in here and have a chance at this playoff championship, he needs to be up in the front of the other race right now getting stage points. He needs to get everything he can. Same thing with DeCiani. This guy, we know him to be consistent week in and week out. He's someone who's always up front, and he made the playoffs on points. That's how we know he was so good, and he was contending for the regular season's points championship with Dyson, only missing it by a handful of points. So that 4-car, knowing how fast he is, I mean, you see it there. It's just going to be something that they're going to need to do is work their way back up towards the front in some way, shape, or form. But these guys back here in the back 20s need to change something about their cars, and they need to change it now.
It's still early in the race, absolutely, but to light a point on the O'Brien part of that conversation, by the way, only driver without a playoff point coming in for the round of 16. Going to be a hard time. Patrick Gitter, whenever we've seen him, has had solid speed. Kind of stepped back a little bit as the season went on, though. After starting pretty red hot, since then he's kind of cooled off his races where he locked himself in early in the campaign. In fact, at Daytona, had locked himself in with a victory. That was the only time coming on through. He was in the conversation a couple times, but since then has gone pretty dormant.
Something about Gitter always makes me think that, I mean, he's got a lot of speed everywhere he goes, but we saw in Atlanta early in the spring, he had contact that sent him into the grass, got him taken out of the race. That 21 car, we know he's fast. He's good at what he does. It's just getting and maintaining the front, staying up there and maintaining position. But right now, he's under fire from Robert Miller. Remember, Robert, he's not in this playoff. He's pushing hard. He ain't worried about tire fall off. He's been passing folks left and right. Remember that 15, something to mention about him right now as we talk? I got to tell you, he is in a position where he started in 8th. He's going for 3rd right now on the outside. Look at him. He's going to be able to make the whole work, and out to the outside, he's going to clear him into 1. What a move for Robert Miller up to 3rd.
One of the fastest cars on the racetrack right now. In fact, Miller last time by was a 10th quicker than your race leader. So the 15 has knockout speed and has a chance to make the top 2 cars on the racetrack non-playoff drivers. And here we go, and there's the speed differential. See, all green the past 3 laps for the 15.
You know, I just saw this. He won stage 1 Darlington in the spring. That 15 car, he was fast, but he finished 35th because he got involved in an accident. One of those bad luck races. I think that is something to keep in mind, because if that happens again, that 15 car, he's going to have struggles. He just hit the wall coming off turn 2. I mean, that 15 car, he's just got to keep his car safe underneath him, and he'll be there at the end of the race if he does.
Yeah, exactly. Heitman, here he is in the wall. He's slowed down off of it, and that is not good. Heitman able to get back going, but has avoided damage. Let's take a look at the replay.
What exactly happened here? Holy cow, going into turn number 3, Ralph Hutchinson on the tail. Oh, he just got loose. Huge moment. Up into the wall, 3 wide, going on by him. All these playoff guys, these are points going out the window. He was in a position to get some some stage points that will help him with his cushion he needs. But that was not something you needed to have happen at all. Really hard in the wall.
Here, and it was a downshift. Just ended up giving him a high RPM ban, and the Heitman able to keep the car going. As a result, their 13th spot. As we were looking on the replay, Miller did make the pass and run away for the 97. Gitter is looking to also make the pass for 3rd.
Yeah, Lucas Hoitzman's falling off here. You got Patrick Gitter and Delaney. He's letting them both go. He went way low to make sure that they were able to clear, and they can get single file so he loses the least amount of time. He understands that they're faster. Go ahead. I'll see you later in the race. It's about getting to the end, not about passing right now. But the only one who wouldn't agree are the top 2, Galata and Miller. They are non-playoff guys, and they are up in the front. From 3rd place back to 15th are all playoff drivers. That just shows how competitive it is right now in this series. You got everybody in the playoffs right up the front. A couple guys that are having a little bit of a rough day, DeCiani. And, of course, we talked about O'Brien. They are the only ones not in line out in 18th and in 21st.
Yeah, right now, just doing a good job being able to pick up spots one by one. Some of these drivers still only 30 laps into the race. Delaney, former NASCAR competitor, the lead lap champion, coming into the postseason. 930 laps led, leads by almost 200 more than Patrick Gitter. As Hoitzma has lost more ground. Hoitzma has fallen off 3/10 off the leader. What is going on to the RHM car?
I'm looking at his right front, and I think he has a little bit of right front damage. Very little, but enough to where it's visual. You can see the 97 with a little bit of a scrape, but that's expected here at Darlington. You're going to have that.
Here he's lost 7/10 on fall off. You see the numbers there. And you know what? You can hit the wall at a certain point here too, Kirk, that you can give yourself like chassis damage of 30 seconds or whatnot from some of these hits heard in the past for Darlington Stripe. It's a wonder if Hoytsman got one of those 30, 40-second damage hits.
I just took a look here. Speaking of the leader here, I think that 99's driving the wheels off this thing. He is loose. Let's get on. Oh, caution's out. We got a wreck going on here into turn number 3 and 4. Get Ralph Hutchinson, playoff driver.
Ralph Hutchinson turned around by Derek Heitman in through 3. And it puts us under caution for the first time tonight. Time to use a set. Big lunge. The 76 was 5 car lengths back coming before the entry.
I mean, great job by Ralph to be able to keep the car from getting into the wall, because that car could have easily overcorrected out into the outside wall. You'll see Heitman, he's got to run, but he's going to dive it in really deep, and he most certainly is not there. But he just goes there and makes contact. And we heard over the radio that 76 apologized to the 8. I don't know if that will do much for him, but I can tell you right now, 8 car is lucky to only have minimal right rear damage, as this is the first caution of the night here on lap 36.
Gonna restack the field just like that, and tire strat should be pretty simple. 4 tires and fuel. But it now is going to also be where these drivers make those adjustments you're talking about to help with the balance of the race cars.
I have no idea what adjustments they could be making right now, but that 99 has got to tighten up that car. I was about to mention before that caution came out, I saw him fighting the wheel constantly. That car was on edge, being as elusive I've ever seen a race car, and he was still hanging on to it. And so I think he's going to make something to tighten it up. But these rest of these playoff guys, O'Brien and DeCiani, have got to make some giant swings at their cars to make them a little more competitive.
So in the pit box they go. Robert Miller did overrun his respective stall. So some issues in the pit road for the fastest car right before the caution flag. Hutchinson, the last of those, into the boxes. But race off pit road, we'll see who wins it. Galata, off and away, is able to just scoot to the green cone over Gitter, Delaney, Hoffman, and Hoytsma.
Delaney up a couple spots. That ain't bad right there. But Hoytsma also gained a couple spots. Big loser there. Robert Miller dropped back like 5 spots.
So everybody did take 4 tires as to be expected here, as they will restack the field for the restart. Should be now pretty simple on the tire strat. Still have to go in a 1-stopper to the end of this stage. Derek Heitman is spending an extended period of time fixing the front nose of the 76. But it looks like we're getting set to go with the lights out on top of the iRacing pace car already. Doubling up this time by with Galata leading all 37 so far.
That sun's going to go down throughout the rest of the evening here, and you're going to see it get into the darkness over the course of this race. But right now, pay attention. The car is going to run differently now than it will towards the end in the 3rd stage. So the cars are set up in a certain way now, but as it continues to cool down, that car is going to need some adjustments. So the driver who wins this race is going to be someone who's either on top of the adjustments up at the front now, or might be somebody who in the back who's waiting for that darkness to hit so they can just pounce up to the front and show up out of nowhere. So I think it's going to be interesting to see if the 99 can keep up.
So again, your top 10 looks like this. Galata, Gitter, Delaney, Hoffman, Hoytsma, Miller, Hill, Benefiel, Roman, and Murray. The way they are stacked up here in this one. We'll see how Galata plays things now with a sea of Chevys lined up in the first 3 spots. Green flag is out, start of the restart zone, launch this time. And Galata's clear. Delaney does get overlap with Gitter. Not backing off quite yet, now does as they get single file for the first 4.
This is going to be where the most of the side-by-side racing is going to happen all night on the restarts. Right now, the only one I see the closest to the front is Lucas Hoytsma, but he is battling side-by-side with Paul Hill on the outside. He's a little tight. Look out. These cars are cold tires, so you got to be really careful with these things. And it looks like that Hoytsma is going to be under fire again from Froman.
Yeah, Hoytsma just skating backwards already. Stop the bleeding. Does in the battle of the purplish cars. So Hoytsma Holds on to 7th as they get all lined up in the group. Gitter, though, does hold on to 2nd for now. Looks to try and set his sights on trying to find a way to close up to the 99. Fire off is lightning quick, though, for Galata. Already up 7/8 of a second.
Fastest lap of the race, 28.749. What a lap. That 99 is on something else every time he comes out here for these starts of these races. I mean, he's just quick. But that 6 car sitting there in 3rd, I think that he's somebody who probably threw some adjustments towards his car. And I'm excited to see if that thing has some speed on the long run. It was able to maintain last time by, but I'm curious to see how the 6 is able to do on the long run. He's got 1 car in front of him, Patrick Gitter, who we know to be one of the faster guys out there. He just needs to be able to stay consistent, but I'm excited to see how that turns out. Out of this field, though, I do got to give some mention here that both Sean O'Brien Jr. and DeCiani have improved their positioning very much since the restart. We got DeCiani back up to 14th and O'Brien up to 17th, so they have moved up respectively from where they were running at the end of the first stage. End of that first caution there, I should say.
Not bad run whatsoever to start things off the field as they work their way through 1 and 2. Gonna be the interesting thing to keep an eye on. One of the drivers that was dominant on the road courses, the SVG, so to speak, of the series, Andrew Dyson. The 41 machine, go towards that direction so far, has been very quiet in this race. Right now running the 11th position. You see Ralph Hutchinson has also recovered a 20th as well in terms of his moving to the field.
That 8 car, after getting in that wreck, he's making his way forward. We saw him make a pass there just a few moments ago. He's heading back up to the front trying to recover, but Heitman is the only one now having trouble. He came down trying to get some damage repaired. He's still sitting 27th last time by. I'm sure he'll continue making his move to the front, but Heitman right there stuck behind Tanner Marty right now. His plan probably has changed vastly, but we were talking about Andrew Dyson in the 41 just a second ago. You brought him up there, Justin. Something I was thinking about is that he has 40 points to the good at the start of this race. He's in a position where he has got everything going his way. He just needs to finish top 10 every week, and he'll probably make it to the next round. I mean, he just cannot afford to have any problems. Right now running 11th, that is perfect for him. He just needs to continue that. Right here, DeCiani, though, under fire with I think that's Cameron Stone there on the bottom.
Cam Stone moves up a spot. DeCiani, one driver that can have some quietly strong runs. Cam Stone brings a lot of fire to his game. See some of the drivers still battling amongst the 20s on screen. Devin Madero's now 20th. Madero's just trying to run forward. Oh, wow. Tower Hunter is battling with that 41 we were talking about. Dyson sponsorless tonight. Usually has sponsors all over the race car.
An unusual race for the 41. I'm excited to see him. He chose to go with this all black livery. I'm not sure if that's exactly what I'm seeing on my end. It might just be no, it's absolutely what he chose to run tonight. That is wild. I mean, it's unusual. He normally runs a white paint scheme, so I guess he's changing things up for the playoffs. Not sure exactly how that's going to go. He's trying to be the man in black, I guess, considering he chose to do that instead of the lady in black. That's pretty good.
Alex Murray, meanwhile, Precision Speed Solutions is the backing when it comes to his organization. Heard they've liked their speed in terms of in traffic. It's just been the matter of getting their cars out of traffic throughout the week compared to some of the others. You see how big some of these gaps have formed up in the bottom of your screen, too, in the battle for first as well. Traffic is so critical. Dirty air is so prevalent here.
Yeah, that's a product in the next gen car. You're going to be dealing with it all race if you're in a pack here. But what I can tell you is a couple laps ago, I saw the leader get up into the wall a little bit. And what I was saying about Galata driving a loose race car, it's starting to show again. If we could get on the in-car camera going through turns 3 and 4, watch him right here. This is turn 1 and 2. Car is normally pretty stable through here, but right around here is when it starts getting a little fine. No, that car's good in 1 and 2, but take a look 3 and 4. Last time by, I saw him fighting at the wheel. Let's see how he does it this time. In the turn 3 and 4, that sun's a problem. goes up high as he can, and he's going to be fighting. Look at that. He almost turned a little bit right there to keep the car straight.
Small wiggle trying to get the diamond down. He was trying to run the hide line for the apex. And right now is just finding that race car, but it's fast. Adam Benefield just got passed by Tower Hunter for 11th spot as well. So the 83 starting to step backwards a little bit early on in this run. Getting swarmed by some of the non-playoff drivers, but he does have a Conti car in Stone, who is finding the speed. And we talked about Stone a little bit. Very fireistic personality, has shown good speed at times this season. Chicago comes to mind, for example.
Yeah, he was able to win. Are we talking about Cameron Stone, right? Just to make sure.
Yes,
Cameron
we are.
Stone? Yeah, Cameron Stone. Something about him I got to mention. He won to be able to get into the playoffs. He won at Martinsville. That guy is short track. He's short track oriented. He has the most fun on it. So one heck of a race for that 57 car. But what I can say towards the end of this race, he hasn't had a win in many years since he was running in a different version of the full-length Cup Challenge. They called it something else, so it was under a different title, and that was his last time he actually won a race. So him winning in the position he did got him to the playoffs, and he was very excited about that. And I'm excited to see if he continues, and maybe might have something to say when we get to Bristol here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, very curious what happens when we go short track racing there, because, well, short track tempers can happen, and those laps can fly quickly, to say the very least. Speaking of quickly turning things around, right now seeing Hoffman run 30 flats, 9/10 of a second to fall so far. Robert Miller, who had the mistaken pit road, is gaining up, and right now is the second fastest car on the racetrack.
That 15, we saw him not have the initial speed, but over the course of the run, he was able to make passes all the way up to second place. So I think that 15 car, he's going to do something similar. Remember, he started 8th, marched up to 2nd before that first caution, and now he's doing the same thing. He got up to 5th now, and he's all over the back bumper of his teammate and the 6th car. It feels like almost a replay of what we saw in the first little run there.
Yeah, right now at this point, things shaping up to get swarming to the back end of the 6, try and get him loose. More than 3.5 seconds off the front runner, and Galata, and of Patrick Gitter, who is trying to match up with the 99. But at this point, where do you set things up? Or rather, how do you set up some of these moves at this rate? How would you approach things to try and make sure you get these passes done efficiently, especially if somebody doesn't want to give it up like Delaney here?
Get a good run on the exit of 2, and make sure you get to the bottom left quarter panel of the driver in front of you by 3. If you're on the bottom in 3 and 4, you can make the pass a little easier than you can in turns 1 and 2. It's really hard to pass in 1 and 2. So right here, if he had a little more momentum, he would need to get to the left rear quarter panel and dive down to the bottom and stay there. Exactly the plan. Or you can do what the 15's doing and just go up to the top, wrap the top in 3 and 4, and carry some speed and try to get side by side. We saw that earlier. 92 is going to do the opposite, though. Here he goes into turn 1, trying to make it work on the bottom. Just diving in, send it, and the 6 car gave it to him.
At that point as well, because there's such a big risk, Kirk, if you go side by side into 1, where because you have to use that bottom of the racetrack a little bit to rotate, you just wash up and then you wreck the person to your outside. Not the most friendly way to make a move, to say the very least, and we might see that again here with Robert Miller showing the nose. Yes, indeed.
Down to the bottom, 6 car gave it to him. That's exactly the smart thing to do. You don't want to be racing this early. Sure, take the spot. Go ahead. I mean, if he's faster, and those 2 cars seem to have the same speed here, they're pretty quick on the jump here, they're going to try and get everything they can, and they just got to chase down Patrick Gitter, who's about 2 seconds checked out from this little pack here we're looking at. But Paul Hill, we haven't talked about him much so far tonight. He's up here trying to get up to the top 5 position all over the back bumper Delaney as well.
A very quiet race so far for Hill, but it's still, well, only almost 300 laps to go. But at the moment, Hill showcased some speed a lot this season. He is in the postseason for a reason. 3 victories coming into the postseason seeding in 2025. And before it was seeing how things broke out, it started off with a couple second place runs at super speedways, but by June broke through at that race at Auto Club, and since then has showcased his ability to be at the front. Dover and the Brickyard was where he broke through. In regards to Hill.
Yeah, you know, I'm thinking about that. We just watched Roman get on by the 97 of Hoytsma there. Hoytsma, we saw in the first run, also lose a couple spots, dropping back. I think that 97 might have some sort of handling issues. You can see it got a little darker here at Darlington. A little bit of cloud cover, causing the cars to get a little bit of a cold patch here for a little while. It won't last long. It's only patchy skies as it's going to get back out in the sun here in just a second. But that 97 just seemed to be falling the wrong direction right now. Remember, he started 4th. He's already back to 8th. So not necessarily going the right direction for the 97 of Lucas Hoytsma.
And Nicholas Roman, of course, joining the series a little bit late to the game. Has been, so since then, very fast. Used to be a part of the Ryko factory team. And now, since then, has still maintained running some of their setups over the time. Has worked a bit with the Fortis drivers at times this season. He's been very fast. Right now, he's doing a solid job where he's running in the 8th position as we look back at Benefield, one of the Conti drivers in this pack.
Riding on board, you got a great view of that battle up ahead right there. I think Alex Murray is really interested in getting by Lucas Hoytsma up there. He's been all over the back bumper this entire run, I should say. And I got to tell you, I think that 7 car has a little bit more speed than that 97. He tried to set up a pass earlier, got in the wall, and it messed up his run. We'll see if he's able to do that. The 83's got a great view of it. I think he's going to try it here. Look to the top. There goes Alex Murray on the top line. Will he be able to carry the momentum? Looks like he sure will down the straightaway, and he'll clear that 97, getting into the wall even, trying to make it work.
Yeah, these drivers just getting so close to the wall to get that line right. Absolutely. As you look at Hill, still looking to set something up, but Delaney dead even on speed last time through. And the thing is, sometimes you run your own lane. In this case, Delaney starting to check things up and actually forced Hill on the wall. A little bit frustrating potentially here, as what did you just see?
Yeah, sorry, up front, you got Hoffman and Miller. They just traded spots right in front. The 92 just let that 15 car go, so now the 15 is going to try and chase down Patrick Gitter.
And what would your mindset be right now if you're Miller? We talked about him having to trying to prove he can win, but Daniel Wallen is coming down pit road. Right now, he is amongst those at the back of the field. Still plenty of time on the stage to go here. But what's kind of that mindset now if you're someone like a Miller or anything else just looking to try and win the race? What's that mindset like for you?
I see only 2 drivers in a position where you can have this mentality, which are Galata and Miller. Screw the playoffs. I'm going to go up to the front and win the dang thing and show everybody off. That's it. That's their number one priority right here, saying, I don't need no playoffs. I can just win a race whenever I want to. I mean, that's their goal. They got to be thinking about winning. That's all that matters to them anyway. They don't care about having a good finish. No points stay good for them. That's one of the worst parts about having a playoff system. I tell you, there's a lot of arguments online about that, but what I can tell you is that does create a sense of disregard for finishing position. You just want to win the dang race. So for Miller and Galata, push hard all the time, get to the front. And Galata's in the best spot of the day so far, but I will say that second fastest car of the day, I think, still is Patrick Gitter, but Robert Miller's giving him, I think, on the long run might be even out. But Patrick Gitter's in a position where kind of nobody wants to be. Like, you're second fastest, but you're just trying to catch him, but there's not really much you can do being just 2 seconds back.
At this point, they're just equalized down on pace in terms of the top 2. Same is being said for this battle you've been seeing on screen between the 6 and the 26. Trading a tenth of a second difference, give or take, in terms of where they're sticking around on pace. By the way, we haven't talked about Nolan Hodgson so far tonight. 14th spot, he's been stuck in place.
Yeah, I saw Nolan earlier. I mean, I got to tell you, he's in a position where he's got a lot of dirty air. It's going to be hard to make passes, but it looks like he wants to make one right now. He's going to the top side. Cameron Stone, he's going to be moving up a spot if he's able to maintain the speed. Got in the wall a little bit. Cameron's not letting him go. Keeping the fight on. He just lifted and let him on by. So right there, 12 car up an extra spot, and that gets him up to 13th. Now he's got to get by that non-playoff driver right up in front of him, which is Neil Pearson in the 62. He hits the next one in his sights. But yeah, like I said, I saw this at the beginning of the show. That 12 car has really undergone so much change throughout the beginning of this season. He won in Atlanta in a crazy fashion to be able to get the win, but that was with a way more basic paint scheme. But throughout the whole season, he's been able to elevate and get involved with CFM, and now he's in a position where he's winning races. He won twice this year, and he's a really good favorite for the championship this year. So it's going to be exciting to see how Nolan's able to do over the course of this playoff. But I think he's going to be someone to watch in for a deep playoff run.
At this point, been very solid. Bobby Anderson, by the way, holding on to 17th. The boss man for the series. Going with a different look tonight. Usually is running Kyle Busch paint schemes or Terry Labonte looks. This evening, just finding whatever looks best to the trading paints and sticking with that, putting his Classic 5 on it. Be able to make the car pop. Right now, so far though, up 6. Been able to pick up some spots from his initial qualifying spot. Your thoughts of Bobby Anderson, one of the drivers, fighting for the best of the rest?
You know, Bobby, he had a good chance to make playoffs. He was fast all year, but it seemed like every time he was having a good race and a good chance of even doing really well, he would get involved in somebody else's incident, or he almost even had a chance to win at Richmond. I mean, he won stage 2 at Richmond with fresh tires. He was able to pass Galata in the closing laps to be able to make the pass and get the job done. But something about that car there is that he made a mistake on pit road, and then he got involved in an accident, and he never fully recovered. So you're going to see that kind of really described his season. He has winning speed, and he can get there. But I think that 5 car just unfortunately just keeps getting involved in other people's messes, and that's what really kept him out of the playoffs this year. So now he's got to be thinking, just finish this thing off, try to win a championship, and then get ready for 2026.
And it's going to be an interesting time when we go to 2026, especially with some of the races on the other side, potentially that visit to San Diego in the rear wheel. It's going to be coming up, but we're way far out to discuss 2026 plans right now. At this point, the sunshine. Yeah, you were saying?
I was going to tell you, Justin, they were advertising right here. This league full-length cup challenge, if you want to be a part of it, you got to come and try this out. I mean, these guys are right here. Take a look. Adam Benefield on the bottom, getting passed by Nolan. He's up another spot from 13th to 12th now. From 12th to 11th, I should say. So 12 cars still on the move forward. But I wanted to mention is that these guys are starting to take applications. So if you want to be able to try and race in the full-length cup challenge, there's an option for you to be able to do so. Just make sure you come on into the full-length cup challenge Discord, and I'm sure that they might be able to get you an application you can fill out and try and be a part of the racing series here.
And the list, remember, has a cap of 70 total active drivers at any given time. That's a lot of drivers. And remember, the max we've seen is 45 in a race. So you're potentially sending upwards of 25, 35 drivers home as well. You also have the qualification that can come in with the Xfinity Series or the Friday night series, so to speak, as well.
Whoa!
Here we go. Bobby Anderson opens the window.
Yeah, I'm not sure why, but I mean, he made a good pit road entry. That looked good. I mean, we'll hope he didn't speed here, but he got down. It's one of the most difficult pit roads you can get onto all day. And you see him, he just passed that Llewellyn car that stayed on the pit road after he came in a handful of laps ago. Now he's going to come in with the 5 car and take 4 tires and gas, and I'm sure he's going to be the first one out of the group to try something. I mean, he understands. He did tire strategy last time at Richmond, and he was able to win a stage. So, I mean, I don't blame him for coming in early this time to see if it would work out for him this time.
See if anybody else responds here. It is still only 40 laps into the run. Listening to Larry McReynolds earlier on in the week, he mentioned the field run can go up to 70, 75 laps. Billy Brickley just indicated he wants to pit. So with the time of the caution flag, some of these drivers going to be coming in pretty early on how they are splitting up this run, just trying to make sure they have enough laps to build a runway, it looks like, Kurt, from this point forward.
Yeah, a lot of cars just talked about coming in now. I'm looking at the 26. I don't think he's coming in this particular time. We'll see. I don't think so. But what I can tell you, something that's on my mind here, is like what we were talking about a minute ago, that Xfinity Series. If you want to try and be a part of it, you can come race with me on Friday nights. We got a lot of great drivers out there. Bryson Hickson-Ball winning all the races right now. But it's a really fun competition with the Xfinity side of things, too. So if you want to come on in and give it a try, we'd love to have you come on out. Be a lot of fun. But if you want to make it to the big show on Saturday, being an Xfinity definitely is a plus.
And remember, multiple different charters available as well. That will move the ranks. The initial Tier 1 offers go to the top 20. Then you have to apply in October for the 2026 charters. And then it goes from there. The process can last all the way to January. But Derek Heitman is in. Only 45, 46 laps into his run. He's also bringing in some errors like Dave Hoytsma, who just about knocked the barrels down. So at this point, it's been a bit of a struggle for the 76 since that contact earlier. Has been able to make up the track position. He's now in the box.
He's got to try something different. I mean, I don't blame him for that. He's going to be on pit road, and we're going to see how he stacks out. But remember, you do lose a lap when you're coming into pit. You know Bobby Anderson just pitted. He's only 1 lap down. But Billy Brickley also just pitted, and he's 2. He's trying to pass second place right now with fresh tires. So it depends on where you are on a racetrack. But if you're more towards the front, losing 1 lap is a lot easier than losing 2. So you really want to, if you're towards the front, you could stay out a little longer and you could pit early if you want to. But if you're in the back positions, maybe like, say, 18th on back, you really want to really think about it before you come down, because it is going to be difficult to be able to pass through some guys without losing 2 laps.
Yep, right now, we'll see when everyone else ducks down. Heitman has already completed off his service, but looking still. Hoytsma still going the wrong way. Hodgson now is starting to make up with some of the ground after being stuck earlier on. And there is some drivers clutch and coasting here. Just heard a clutch and coast from the 12 machine, so some of the drivers are trying to extend this run a little bit. And it might actually be close to get to 115 if the math is right here. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, I wish I could tell you the honest answer here, but if he's clutching it, that must mean that he thinks he can make it there to the end. So I mean, Nolan, I don't know if he can here, but it's going to be close. We're going to see 50 laps so far on this stint, and we had that 1 caution. And if you're going to continue clutching, I'm not sure exactly why, but it's always a good benefit to save gas too, because it makes the pit stops shorter with more fuel in the car. So it's a benefit to be able to actually do that.
Yeah, if we were to go green, the run would go past 75 laps. Hodgson does make the pass on the outside of the 97. And that moves the 12 inside the top 10. By the way, Galata's lead is evaporating at a rapid pace. He just fell to about a 1-second lead after being up by 2 seconds. So the time is starting to evaporate from the 99's advantage a little bit.
Yeah, that 99 Galata, I'm looking right now at his in car trying to see what's exactly going on. I mean, he's running 4th gear all the way around. He isn't really shifting up to 5th at all. And he's just running the bottom. I think he's actually just taking care of the tires a little bit, maybe. I'm not sure. He's not doing his normal arc that we saw him do early in the run. Could be fuel saving. But I'm not entirely sure what the 99's problem is here on the long run. It just see, he just dropped off 3/10 from the last lap, so that's wild.
Yeah, he is rapidly losing ground, and now he's rapidly losing the lead. Here comes Gitter. Passes him like nothing, and Galata's tires are dead. Just completely shredded with the way things are going here. You push too hard, you can risk getting a tire limit warning, actually. And we're seeing Galata hit it.
I don't know if that's exactly what's going on with that 99. I mean, it's possible he could be on a tire problem, but he's not driving as aggressive as we saw him earlier. I think he's in a position now where he's like, I mean, I think this fuel save could be happening right now. I've been wrong before, but still, it just, if his tires are shredded, then, I mean, he's got to start thinking about going to pit road sooner rather than later. Yeah, he really waited to get back into the gas on the exit of 4. I think he's saving gas.
Yeah, right now, Robert Miller's eating into the gap. Half a second slower. Last time by the 99. Right now his average half a second slower to the past 5 laps.
He's absolutely saving gas. He's lifting early. He's doing things. It's not the tires. He's actively saving gas. It is what he is doing right now. He's like quarter throttle, too. He just moved up to 5th gear. He's trying to super save now. He got to the point now where I think he's just trying to save gas here. I don't think it's a tire problem.
I'm surprised he's riding in 5th gear at 1 and 2. Normally you have to run 4th gear in that corner. Correct me if I'm wrong. Otherwise you shred the tire more in the right front.
Exactly. He's focused on gas right now, not tire.
So he's trying to gamble as we had a slider. Billy Brickley just kicked up a puff of smoke, by the way, after kicking out his car. He's right now the next car in line to be lapped. There's Brickley. Right now, he's one of the drivers that had service, actually, but is running slower than the race leader a little bit. We'll see what happens here with the 44. Trying to hold on for dear life to hold on to this lap. Should say he's trying to make sure he doesn't fall 2 laps down from the pit stop strategy. The weird thing to me, I encountered this earlier, Kirk, it's almost like for sometimes here at Darlington, it almost feels like you don't pit for tires when you do take the tires. It almost looks like Brickley took a pit stop, obviously changed the set, but it's almost hitting a plateau like it's driving without the tire change.
He did also heat up the right rear tire when he got loose off of 4 there a couple laps ago. So the 44 with fresh tires, I mean, you got to be thinking about other cars that are on his schedule. He's running 30.2s. However, the cars that pitted with him, like Devin Medeiros, Bobby Anderson, they're still running 29.9s, 29.8s. So I think it's just the 44 car having a little bit of a hot tire issue here, and the car might not be running to his liking at the moment. But that 21 car, I mean, he's in a position now, if he wins today, he's going to lock himself into the next round, and he's not going to need to worry about St. Louis or Bristol. He'll be able to try and go for wins or just start focusing on that next week at the start of the second round. But that 15 car, remember, we saw earlier how fast Patrick Gitter was able to get by Galata. This time, Robert Miller, I mean, it's taken a little bit longer for Miller to be able to catch him, but he's still doing so. It's just at a little faster rate a little slower rate, I should say, than what we saw with the 21 car.
Slowly chipping away right now as they work their way around the racetrack here. 61 laps now into the run as they go. Miller just trying to perfect his diamond line to swoop down and gain some of the ground. By the way, Galata just now started kicking up his speed again. After running in the 8s for a little bit, he's gone back to the 4s and 5s the past couple. So Galata's trying to get back on the speed. The problem is the car is just not giving in, just tap the wiggles yet again.
Remember, Patrick Gitter didn't lift at all, so this is not. He's just got a little bit more fuel saved up if he's trying to get to the end of the stage or anything like that. I think that's something to keep in mind. Once you hit your number, you kind of just decide, okay, I've saved enough. I'm going to start going now. Considering everybody came down to pit when they did, I mean, it's possible. We're going to see how long they last. But to the end of the stage points are really going to matter for these playoff drivers. They really need every number they can get. So I think that's going to be something to watch throughout the run here is who's going to get the most stage points, because if you're in the back four, you definitely need them.
Yes, indeed. A little bit of scraping going on for some. There's the lap traffic on the fresher tires, making their way through. Marty came through another pit stop. Gitter just came down. Patrick Gitter comes down with about 16 to go in the stage.
Galata and Miller both stay out, but they are nose to tail now. This is going to be the battle for the lead for the time being, unless they choose to come down. One leader comes down, normally that would signify the others to try and come on down as well. But now are they decided that no, there's no way we can make it, so they tried to save, and then they said, no, there's no way I'd be able to save enough, so they put back on the pace? Or are they just both saving gas right now? 99 just choosing to maintain their spot in front of the 15.
Yeah, going to be a curious game here to close things out for this stage. The way things are shaping up. Running out of laps to work with here. Galata now having to deal with Kevin Zodiac. Zodiac gives himself a Darlington stripe. Rides the wall to let the leaders go. Not a problem. Interesting paint scheme for the 37 tonight. Trying to replicate Denny Hamlin, but on a Chevy. As you see your info bar. Stage is coming close to an end here pretty soon. And remember, per the league announcement bulletin, 1:15 was that end of the stage. 2:30 for stage 2.
That's what I got here on my sheet, definitely. I got to tell you, too, right now, staying right here, you got to love it right there. That's pretty good. But what I can't say is these guys are battling hard. They know they got to get every spot they can, because you can be knocked out of the playoffs by just a handful of points, just by one. Even a tie can really knock you out if you lose the tiebreaker. So with that in mind, you got to get as many stage points as you can. And these guys up here, Froman, Delaney, Hodson, Dyson, they just got to be right where they are and take as many of these as they'll be able to get.
Someone was very slow at the front straightaway. Delaney was way low on the racetrack. He nearly ran and hit the back end of Vroom. Can't tell you, Vroom hit the wall, and Delaney went stage left to avoid.
Oh, that 6 cars race was so close to being over. He saved the car, just hanging on to it. Stage points don't matter at that point. You got to make it to the end of the race. He chose to hang on to the race car instead of lose it like that. You saw Froman on the exit of the corner just snap, and that's what got the 6 car to try and avoid it and overcorrect a little bit. Right there. Oh, man.
Just a small wiggle in his case. Bigger wiggle for Delaney from the circumstance. But we're under 10 laps to go estimated in the stage. Miller still has not found a way around Galata, or rather, should I say, as they go, Galata in the race lead, now once again with the earlier stop. Miller trying to find a way to build up a run.
While these two are battling for the lead, we got a battle that's interesting towards the back end of this, but we'll just try and keep our eyes up towards the front. That 41 making more spots on the outside, getting by Patrick Gitter there. See him getting by the 26 of Paul Hill as well. 3 wide on the front straightaway to make it work for the 41 of Dyson. Up to 4th.
A little bit aggressive there. But some of these drivers stacking up have better tires. Hill now stacking up Hodson. Some intense fighting going on here for some stage points. By the way, bad news if you're an Alex Murray fan. Technical issues falling down the pylon. The 7 machine may have just lost connection to the server. That means their chances has gone the wrong way. Tech issues for the precision car of Murray.
Oh, you hate to see that. He's going to have so much good races he's going to need to have the best run of his life at St. Louis and Bristol to be able to stay in this playoff. But right now, that battle's still raging on at the front. There's Paul Hill trying to hang on to position as the 12 car and the 6 of Delaney and Hodgson get on right by.
Just drove quickly right on through. Hill is clutch and coasting. It's Delaney. Rides for now. Up front, race lead. Coming up to 5 to go. And Galata lets go the 15.
I'm not sure if he realizes that at this point he can't make it, so he needs a super save. I think that's what he's doing. That's the only... Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. Galata's not going to be able to make it on gas, so he decided just go ahead. I don't think you can make it either, and he's just saving as much gas as he can in the 99.
See where this now shapes up.
Galata's got a pit. No, he's letting the 21 go. He's pitting. 99 coming down for pit.
So Joseph Galata tried to stretch it. He's tapping out. See some of the others starting to make moves. Dyson is going and making a charge. Chad Satter missed pit road. We still stay green and avoided the barrels. Down to the final 4 laps of this stage, and Dyson is faster by a couple tenths, but he's down by almost 3 seconds.
Some good news right here, I gotta say. Patrick Gitter was able to get his lap back. He chose to come down and get tires. He didn't go down a lap. He was able to pass the leader and get his lap back. So that 21 car is going to be back on the lead lap again, I think. We're going to double check to make sure. Let's see. Yes, he is back on the lead lap.
All these drivers trying to rush to get on pit road. Galata only topped off to get as minimal gas as possible. Didn't work to keep on the lead lap. Still going to have to come down at the end of the stage and pit for tires in his circumstance. It's become a fuel mileage race to determine who's going to win the stage here. Coming around 2 to go. Pit road closed. Their beds are made.
The worst thing you can do is run out of gas. It's better to be able to go a lap down than it is to run out of gas. So that's important to remember. The 15 car, Miller, hanging on to it for now. 41 of Dyson up to second. Remember, he's in a great spot to get a lot of playoff points here.
Robert Miller in line to steal a playoff point and kind of put himself into a position to say a statement. Delaney trying to keep up with Dyson as we'll get the green-white checkered this upcoming time by for stage number 1. Delaney trying to close up on a run. Still can't charge up and close up the distance. Stays behind by 2 car lengths as it's going to be Robert Miller up in front of him, making his way through turn 4. Green, white, checkered flag. Robert Miller gets the stage. Dyson second. Delaney gets third. And we have one driver who is in the stage points pending with pit road closed. Hill is in. He was potentially in line for stage points.
He just ran out of gas. That's what happened. He knew he wasn't going to be able to make it on gas. He's coasting right now, 26 miles an hour. He's out of gas, coasting down the pit road right now. Is he going to be able to make it to his box? I don't know if he's going to be able to make it. He's going to be close. But he's going to probably lose a lap here.
Laps look like this. Miller, Dyson, Delaney, Hodgson, Vrillman, Hoffman, Hoytsma, DeCiani, Pearson, and Ryan S. Jones were all in the top 10 per the unofficial top 10 at the time of the yellow flag. So a busy night of racing, and everybody's screaming on the radio, Kirk, that they're out of gas.
Oh my gosh, what has just happened? We saw the 92. He's out of gas. He finished 5th in the stage. He got a lot of stage points, but that car cannot go any further. He might lose a lap here, but he got some stage points out of it, but he just didn't quite make it to the end. Who else is going to be in that position?
Well, most of the field is down pit road now. At least the top 3 have made it. Vrillman's made it. Others are still coasting down on pit road. So it was borderline. Some of these drivers are having a hard time holding on to the speed limit here. It is 45 miles an hour, remember, here at Darlington. Some big gaps before some of these drivers actually made it down pit road to get to their box.
I mean, that was... Oh, somebody didn't make it. Somebody stopped on the exit, on the entrance to turn to the pit road entrance here. It's O'Brien. Huge problem for the 65.
Yeah, O'Brien just had issues, and here is the reason. Yeah. He tried to avoid the 92 on entry and missed pit road and backed up on the track to get in.
We're going to see it here in just a second. What's going to happen? We need to see his entry to pit road. He was going way too fast getting into the pit road, trying to make up as much time as he could. But he's going to get a penalty for this, unfortunately, I think, because he went out. He did not enter pit road safely, according to what iRacing believes here. So let's see if we can't take a look at what the 65 happened here less than like a minute ago.
Let's see. This would be on the entrance.
A little further back.
Yes. Not the backwards on the track, but watch. He sees the 9-2, gets spooked, misses pit road.
By a lot. He was going real fast. I mean, I'm surprised. I mean, at this point, you got to pit, and he can't lose a lap here, but he's going to have an EOL penalty for... I'm not sure exactly if it's going to be a hold or an EOL for incorrect pit entry. So, big problems for Sean O'Brien here.
There is a bright side here in his case. He's in the lead lap, and we are already getting ready for a restart. That was a very quick caution. It's Delaney and Dyson now in the front row with the pit road sequence. Miller came out third.
Remember, the 99 didn't make it. He is currently sitting. I think he just got a wave around. A lot of guys got a wave around there on that last little run. So everybody in the wave around spot are catching back up to the end of the field. But Galata's got to make it through the whole field now as we're going to go through the restart zone. And we're back underway to start stage 2 here from Darlington. Great jump for the inside lane.
Remember, Galata did not take tires under the green flag pit stop. So he is the first car, one lap down. He did not take the wave around to give the correction there.
Oh
but
my.
Pearson trying to get around DeCiani. Only 16 drivers maintain the lead lap, by the way, because of that fuel mileage stint.
Well, now, I mean, look at this battle right here. You got Ralph Hutchinson make a move on DeCiani here in a 1. This is not going to be good. It's hard to go side by side here. Look out.
Oh, the Fortune's machine able to back out of it. Hutchinson moves his way forward, and they're all scattering behind him. Hold on. Bobby Anderson on back, fanning out 3 wide. Hodgson amongst the many playoff drivers pinned laps down. Hodgson and Benefiel are the 2 in particular, as well as several of the drivers that ran decently in the stage. Hill was also 1 lap down because he had to pit with the pit road closed.
And there's the battle right here. Patrick Gitter making a move to the inside DeCiani, and so is Ryan S. Jones. DeCiani's going the wrong way, man.
Yeah, right now DeCiani just playing the cautious game, you'd have to think. Now a teammate he knows has been faster, let him on through. And right now, all DeCiani needs to do a part of this postseason is score solid points, at least for this round. He's amongst the drivers that was above the cut line coming in. It's just about, can he outscore some of the drivers? We know Matt Long was not here tonight, but drivers like Sean O'Brien Jr. are a part of the lead lappers in this situation. Some of the drivers above the cut by sizable margin going to have to take the lumps here with the way things are looking, at least for stage 2. Remember, this stage going to lap 230. In terms of the distance, still 1 stopper on the gas as we see the battle of the Origin red cars.
Got to tell you, you got to be really careful getting on a back bumper of the car in front of you like that. you could really pack a lot of air. In practice, I was able to see the 83 do that to Delaney. If you dive it into the corner and you get right up underneath the car in front of you, rear bumper, you make that front car extremely loose. It's a nightmare to hang on to. Delaney couldn't even hang on to it in practice when we saw that. So it's important to realize that if you see that happen, you got to be really cautious as the front car, because it's going to be so loose for you. They're still side by side back here.
Some of the drivers in the back of the field really getting sporty on these fights. But that sunshine that you talked about, it's about to become a visualization difficulty for some. Remember Kevin Harvick years ago that had to put his hand up and block the sun? That sun up through turn 3 is about to become a massive issue in terms of visibility sight lines.
Can we ride on board with the 57 into turn 3? I think that if we can get on board with the 57 of Cameron Stone, that'll show us exactly what these drivers got to deal with. Right here, he's in the pack. He's got a lot of cars around him, very fast. He's got to maintain speed. Got a little bit of a light there, but right here, what are you doing? You can't see nothing. If any smoke happens, you're not going to be able to see it for the next handful of laps. That sun's just going to be a nightmare to look at.
Give efforts, by the way, to the 99. He's trying to do well, unlapping himself the hard way, making some moves. He's just making cut after cut. So we take a look at Hill now, center focus. Some drivers hitting the wall in front of him. Stone rode the wall along with Jones, but they're able to keep it stable.
Oh,
some
Stephen
drivers.
Williams.
Yeah, he's not stable back there. Had a bit of a moment.
Got side by side with Medeiros. These two guys are right now battling for an important position, not for playoff points, but they're both running in 20th in points and 21st in points. Remember, we were talking about it earlier. The top 20 drivers in the point standings get the offer of a tier 1. What do they call it? Tier 1. What's it called? Thing that they're talking about. Charter. Yeah, tier 1 charter. Thank you. Tier 1 charter. Yeah. They are battling right now for that tier 1 charter spot. If the top 20 get it, right now it's Stephen Williams in 20th and Devin Medeiros in just one spot back in 21st. So he's got to make up just less than 30 points, Medeiros does, to be able to get that chance at essentially a guaranteed charter. And he wants one of those. He owns the entirety of Lunar Esports, so he's trying to make sure he can get that. But they're right next to each other battling for that.
Yes, absolutely. And for those curious, by the way, for those wondering, where is Matt Long, who missed the top of the show? He apparently decided to go to a lake for Labor Day weekend, since it is Labor Day weekend, without realizing playoff implications. Hey, sometimes real life over virtual.
Family is way more important than the things we do. That's the best way I put it. Oh, man. I got to say, though, it's going to be hard for him, though. He's still going to have some fun when he comes back. He's got St. Louis and Bristol, and he's fast at both. So I think it's going to be exciting to see if he's able to pull one off and win one, which is exactly what he needs to do, most likely after this week.
There is a counterpoint. He could try racing on a boat.
Sure. Yeah, I guess speedboat racing.
Yep. Put the sim rig on the fishing boat. Hearing a connection flag just popped up. Correction. In my ear, if you're on the boat, you can get a connection flag.
Oh, the 57 into the wall. Contact from Paul Hill sends Cameron Stone into the outside wall. Hang on to it. That's going to put him some damage, and he is not happy about that.
Paul Hill was alongside him and did not back out of it. Came up and hit him. And now Stone's got significant right side damage. Here's the replay. Right there. Washed up.
Man. 57's having a good day. I mean, he just needs to hang on to the car, but he had Paul Hill, another playoff contender, getting into him. And we'll see how that affects him on a long run. That's going to really affect his long run speed. So hopefully that damage isn't too severe that he can get it fixed at the stage, but his main goal now is just stay on the lead lap. Make sure you don't get lapped if we stay green all the way.
Now, right now, Stone's going to have a very hard time the rest of the run because that damage can absolutely decimate your right front tire. He's in the wall again. As you see some of the drivers in front of him, Stone just rode the wall all through turn 2.
Yeah, that car's killed on the right side. He's going to need a lot of damage repair to get that fixed and to where he can be competitive again. He's starting to create a stack up behind him. You got the 92 of Hoffman and the 65 of O'Brien Jr. there, kind of stuck. They can't really do anything to get by him yet. They got to set up a pass to make it work, but that 57 is so unpredictable. It's not possible that you can really do it. Let's see if he's able to make this corner work this time. But yeah, you can see when one car starts slowing up and you get a little bit of a group of cars behind him, not much you can really do about it. You know, I do got to mention, though, while we're talking about Cameron Stone here, non-playoff driver leading this race right now. Oh, here's another replay of Cameron Stone and what happened when he got into the wall the second time. Oh, that was just a little brush. That's a Darlington stripe. I think he'll be fine from that. But the first one was really where the damage came in, so that's going to be important to mention. But our leader right now, he is outside the top 20 in points. That is, again, Robert Miller. He has 20 starts, but he's 23rd in points right now. If he wins this race here, he might jump by Neil Pearson, Devin Medeiros, and Stephen Williams to be able to try and get one of these, Tier 1 charters next year. So that's something else to keep in mind. Miller's not just racing for a race win. He's trying to get a free entry into next year as well.
And again, the charter system is, how do I describe this? It's a little bit complicated in terms of how things can go, but quite simply, it's broken down like this. Tier 1 essentially is those locked in. Top Tier 2 can help you qualify and basically gets you provisionals. There's so much in terms of that, or factors in terms of that system, and then you have to remember there's also the pay total here for drivers as well. Again, $100 for Tier 1 charter, $75 for Tier 2. You could run in the Xfinity Series for $50 with the paid charter. So there's a lot that can happen there in terms of that factor. By the way, Gitter doing a good job bouncing back from his pit stop sequence. Now alongside Hoisman, passes by him.
You know, looking at the field right now, you kind of got it all spread out, but there's one car, the 26 car, if we can get an eye on him right now. He's kind of a little slower than the rest of the cars around him. He's creating a little bit of a stack up. That's Paul Hill on the 26 that I was talking about. Just a little bit further behind Lucas Hoitzma here in the 97, if we can't take a look at that. He's got this little line of cars behind him that have really stacked up to the point where the 11 car hit the wall a few times after trying to avoid him. So I think that's important to watch whenever that happens. They're going to like accordion together and then fall apart once one makes a mistake. But after that contact with Cameron Stone, Paul Hill most likely is in a mindset where he knows he's a lap down right now. He needs to do something to get back on the lead lap. Similar drivers, Nolan Hodgson, also a lap down. Adam Benefiel, another one a lap down. These guys are trying to get back on the lead lap. They got to do something to make that happen. And right now, staying out as long as possible and hoping for a caution during the green flag pit cycle might be a benefit to them. I'm not entirely sure what else they can really do to get that lap back.
And this is going to be difficult for all those drivers at this rate, and there's strong chances that a lot of people get lapped by the time we're done this run. Rather, after pit stops at least. So this is a challenge with the strategy box that they've now been put in that's going to be so difficult to escape unless they have a really well-timed caution flag or take a risk on a wave around and stay on all tires, which is a doomsday device, so to speak, here at Darlington. So right now, we'll see where things shape up for now, but Gitter still looking at center screen. Munckel's just searching on the bottom, trying to find clean air on the front nose. Looking at some of the air battles as they go around the racetrack here. We mentioned drivers like Komacheski. He was one of the drivers that was just outside the playoff picture coming in. Right now, one of the best of the rest contenders to try and battle for 17th in points.
Yeah, I got to tell you about Kumachevsky. He's fast on the short run, but all season we've seen him getting to the point where he falls off. But this week, I've seen him actually maintain that speed a little bit better out of the 88 for Kumachevsky. Barely missed the playoff run last week. Had a chance at the win, just unfortunately wasn't able to pull it off. But that 88, I mean, he's just trying to make sure he can end the season on a good note, and I think he's going to be able to do that. Something that's on my mind right now, though, Joseph Galata right now is looking all over the back bumper of Dyson for, he's a lap down. Remember, Galata, he is all over for third now. He's making a move to the inside of Dyson up front. Remember, if he's able to drive his way back up to the front, this is the 41 of Dyson and the 99 of Galata up towards front. If we can't get a camera on that real quick. I got to tell you, he's been making a move farther and farther forward, a little bit further back. There you go. Right here, that 99, if he's able to get his lap back by driving through the entire field, which is what he's done, he's up past third place now. If he's able to catch Delaney and get by Miller, then he would have earned his lap back, which is something that's really difficult to do, especially at the track too tough to tame, Darlington. If he's able to make this happen, that would be phenomenal. He's running lap times quicker than that of the leader. He's running this last time by for Galata, he ran a 29.9. Robert Miller running 29.9, but just very slightly slower than Galata is. So he is catching him now, and that is for sure. Same thing with Delaney catching Miller. They were able to gain 0.3 that last time by.
And this would simplify the race for Galata. He can unlap himself on raw pace. So difficult to be able to do, as right now these drivers just try and continue to battle the racetrack. We'll ask your thoughts on this. Hold on. Where's Ryan Jones going?
He hit the wall. That's where he's going. Trying to save the race car. That 11 car, remember, he's been part-time this season, on and off this year. And that 11 car, you'll see it here. He's in front of the 92 here. He's going to go into turn number 1. High end, looks fine. He got a little high up there that time, but he turns down good. Exit of the corner, he just got loose. Did not hit the wall or nothing. He was aiming his way towards the wall, but he saved the race car and was able to hang on to it. Only lost 2 spots, drops back to 12. What a save.
Yeah.
With the sun in his eye and everything.
Okay. Good save after the wiggle. Still holds on to 12. We'll say this is a racetrack where you normally don't see the caution flag fly. I will say it's such a difficult racetrack in general, Kirk, to really make a mistake unless you really lose your focus here, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on the caliber of driver, too. I mean, me and you, we've commentated races that's had like at least 10 or 15 cautions in the first stage alone. So I'm sure that we've seen that happen. But with this caliber of driver we got in this series right now, the high amount of talent, yeah, absolutely. They can handle the car for long runs like this and be able to get to the point where we might see some green flag pit stops. We already saw that a little earlier because folks weren't quite able to make it to the end of the stage and still needed the pit. But right now, that 97, we're looking at the battle right here between 21 of Patrick Gitter and the 97 of Lucas Hoytsma. I think the 97 is actually improving over the run now. Remember last run, he just fell back like a rock, but now he's able to make a pass on Patrick Gitter to the outside, and he's making it stick. So something changed on that 97 car to keep the car adaptable and back up towards the front as the sun is really starting to dip out and behind the board there, but you get a little flash of it going into turn 3. So sun's about to become a non-issue anymore as you're on board with Galata, who's, remember, a lap down, trying to chase down second place. He's right now sitting in between third and second.
Yeah, just knocking down lap time after lap time. 29.9s, a little bit quicker than the race leaders as they go here in the Lucky Dog spot by 4 seconds over Paul Hill and Noah Hodgson. And again, the hope for him would be that you get a caution flag to be able to throw yourself back into it. Here's a look at Delaney, by the way. He's still matching times. Jonathan Delaney, much better second run. Made some good adjustments possibly on the 6.
Exactly. I mean, but then again, you got to remember the difference between Delaney and Miller and the 99 is that the 99 had to start at the tail of the field, and these guys started on the front row. They were able to manage their tires the entirety of this run, and they're still running slightly slower lap times than Galata. So even though that you see Delaney catching up to the back bumper of Miller, Miller's definitely, getting a little closer with Delaney in terms of their long run performance. I think that 99, if he's able to get his lap back, really is going to throw a wrench into this, because he's going to be able to be someone who can actually catch up to the front. And I think he's kind of on another level than the top two right now in terms of speed.
Yeah, absolutely at this point. It's been interesting where things have shaped up this race, by the way, already coming around 80 laps to go on the stage. Lucas Weitzman right now running 6th on screen. He's been able to stop the lead from earlier on. As we take a look at some of the other lappers, Noah Hodgson needs some luck. Hold on, trouble. Turn 2, Adam Benefiel just went for a slide. Great save down the back straightaway.
It is phenomenal that he did not hit that inside wall. That was like as close as you can get. He better be happy. There's like 9 lanes of asphalt there on the bottom, concrete, to be able to save the car. He was running right there a little loose when the 20 car packed some air on his rear bumper right there. Got the 83 loose, saves the thing with just about a half a lane to spare. That 83, he's going to have a little bit of an overcooked rear tire here, but remember, he's still a lap down. He's running 24th right now at this current moment. And with that in mind, he's got to start thinking, how can I get back on the lead lap? But Benefiel's in a position where he's kind of stuck right here. Let's watch Medeiros here as he closes up to the back bumper and packs some air on that rear spoiler.
Yep, right there, massive snap for the Conti car. Benefiel able to survive as they keep going. Looking around at things here too with Weitzman again. And remember that 97 in the first couple of runs in stage 1 just parasailed down the running order. This run in the purple machine has been able to adapt a lot better, Kirk. It seems like he's been adjusting much better as this race has now gone on, and he's been able to find what he needs to at least maintain long run speed.
Which is good for him. He needs to be able to do that. His teammate Ralph Hutchinson's doing that exact same thing as well. With that 97, I mean, Hutchinson sitting in 4th. This is where you want to be if you're a playoff guy. You want to be in these spots. These spots are going to be where you're going to get the stage points. It's where you're going to be able to get as many points as you can, so you don't need to worry that much about next week and the week after. But considering of the drivers who are up here, I mean, there's a lot of good caliber drivers right now, as he looks like he's making a move on Vroman to the inside. He's going to try and slide up a little bit. Vroman trying to battle him just to slide him out. I think that he's going to have him cleared, though, here as Hoytsma moves up to the 5th place spot, to the top 5 running spot, which is great for the long run. He's definitely improved from the last time he was out here on this old tires.
Absolutely. Now in the top 5 over from Vroman. Hearing a pit stop coming up, the 92 just said they are pitting. That's going to see the window open up here, and we'll see Hoffman roll on down. He was running amongst those still on the lead lap at the time of the caution situation in 10th, yes. So, window was open. Heitman also came down, only 44 laps in.
Heitman was in 6th, a little bit further forward as well. Both cars coming down. I think that it's a planned stop for those guys. They understand what's going on. They could pit a little early, and they're going to be able to keep their track position and probably be able to catch the leader and pass him back so they don't lose a lap here. Well, they'll lose a lap, but they'll be able to get it back if they stay green. Looking around the track right now, there's just a lot of cars that are separated, so nothing like super close. But if they choose to come down for tires now, I mean, it's not a bad choice. I think it's a good time to do it. It's going to benefit them over the course of the rest of the run.
Now, it's just a matter of where the preference is for some of these drivers to pit on in. Take a look up front again. The interval has stayed about the same, but the caution is out. Front straightaway, Ryan Jones has spun around the 11. And another yellow. The 11 is still the wrong way around and is flooring it. Something has gone awry for Ryan Jones. Not sure what happened there technically at the end, but that all started after he tried to save the thing.
Oh, he backed up trying to let the rest of the field go, trying to find a spot to turn back up the racetrack. So he's just being respectful. I think he's just waiting for the right time to do it. I'm not entirely sure, but man, he just got loose on his own, and he just reset the car back to the pit lane, so that will bring out a caution. And the two that hurts the most right now is Derek Heitman in the 76, and it also hurts the driver who also came down with him there. So Hoffman. So I think both of those guys are really not happy about that caution.
You can see arguments of for and against the caution, but you definitely don't want to be that driver who sees a car with the technical issue floor it up the racetrack, unable to control the race car. So that sees wave around for Hoffman coming up. Galata, lucky dog. That's the caution the 99 needed to get back in the ball game. Kyle Amon just crashed in his pit stall as the rest of the field races off pit road. It's Delaney who wins it. That's been a terrible pit box for Miller all day long, I will say. He's lost spots every pit stop.
Yeah, that time he only lost one, a little better than the last time by. 6-car Delaney now is going to have clean air for the first time all night. Will he be able to have a little bit better handling car if he has it for long, or will Robert Miller be able to chase him down and try to get it back?
Yeah, now it's going to be a challenge. Stone, Amonso's coming down this time through, so he will get the damage repairs. So as said, some will get the wave around. That includes drivers such as Heitman that will duck down pit road. Hoytsma, or rather Hoffman, also takes the lucky dog, or right, the wave around as Galata goes around the racetrack after service. These cautions go very quick here at Darlington.
It's something we're seeing. I mean, they get it done really quickly, but I tell you what, it benefits Heitman and Hoffman are still going to be on the lead lap. They're going to have fresh tires still. There are a lot of drivers that are still in a position where they kind of are stuck. So it isn't done quite yet. For example, Hill, Hodgson, Benefiel, these guys are still sitting in a position where they're a lap down. So that's going to be something that's going to make it difficult for them to get back on the lead lap. They really got to get it back as quickly as they can, any way they can. But you want to avoid coming down on the green to be able to do it. But up front, keep an eye on this. That 41's there behind the 6. They have a little bit of history there. And the 15 car on the top side and the 8 car both also have a little bit of history. Let's see how they handle this restart together.
Green flag is out, backing away, and once again the control car gets a great launch. Delaney clears, Miller to second as Dyson shuffles his way to third. Battle is still on for fifth on back. Vroom vroom. Hoytsma leaning on each other. Lucas Hoytsma gets the help from Getter.
A lot of cars hit the wall out of turn 2 that particular time as they're still battling up here at the front. I mean, there's a big hornet's nest all around Stephen Williams, Nolan Hodgson, and the 12 and the 57 of Stone. They're all kind of like in this giant hornet's nest right now, and they're playoff guys. They got to get single file, and they got to get there quickly. There you go. Now they're starting to get there as the 5 car hit the wall really hard there as well in this little pack. They're just getting settled, but they were in this kind of giant group of cars all packed up together just a handful of seconds ago, but now they've settled it out as it looks like Patrick Gitter making a move to the top lane on the outside of the 97 of Lucas Hoytsma here for position on the restart.
All of them get lined back once again into the choo-choo train. Sun really starting to set here at Darlington, by the way. That sun now behind the towers. Earnhardt Tower in turn 3, protecting the drivers as well as some of the trees. Here comes Gitter inside of Hutchinson. This 8 machine, remember, spun around earlier on in the race, was in the 30s at one point. Now all the way back in the top 5.
Only one car out of the top 10 is not in the playoffs. That just means that like every spot is going to be extra important to keep. You really want to keep every spot you can. But I mean, if you're a driver like O'Brien Jr. right now, got to tell you, he's in a position that's a little wild. As we saw Dyson get by Miller, that's a big move to be able to get him an extra point there. But they're just so packed in right now around DeCiani and a few other cars. I'm a little concerned for O'Brien Jr. He's kind of in a squeezed position back here.
Yeah, you can see O'Brien the highest he's been running this race, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
And part of the reason he made the postseason in the 65 is he was just able to quietly get top 10s at the end of races this season. He's already done that here on the stage, as you see the most positions gained.
14, it's hard to pass here at Darlington. He's able to get the job done now. 14 spots, big deal for the 65. He made the adjustments that he needed to do to be able to get some much needed points. Remember, he was the last car out of the 16 in the playoffs, and he needs to get every single point he can. But Paul Hill has other things in mind as he makes a move on the outside and more passing happening up front. Take a look at Gitter making a move to the inside of the 8 car into turn number 1. 8's going to give it to him.
So they swap right back, and Gitter goes back on the move. 21 machine up to the 4th position for now, but a lot of speed on the entry. And that entry speed, something you have to be on point for. If you set it too deep, you can burn up those front tires, it seems.
You really want to keep the right front safe under you, or the right rear. A lot of these cars that are fast tend to set up the car to where it burns off the right rear. So with that in mind, either you're going to set up you got to be able to keep the car underneath you and save one of the tires. You can't really let one just go. And if you keep doing that over and over again, your car's going to slip out loose. But one thing I'm kind of surprised by right now is a car that I was expecting to see actually make his way more towards the front. But instead of doing that, he's been kind of mired back in traffic. The 99 Galata, again, back here in 15th, not making much ground up. I mean, he's been staying right where he is. Hasn't really made much progress towards the front. Remember, he was a lucky dog, so he had to get through all these extra cars. So now that he's at the tail end of the cars on the lead lap, I think now we're going to start seeing his lap times reflect that. But he's kind of stuck in this giant dirty air pocket as everybody in front of him is like so wild right now. So many cars all over the place. The 98 of Williams just got up into the wall. He's losing a lot of spots there on the outside.
A little bit sketchy there for Stephen Williams. O'Brien able to slip and hold on through. Oh no! Field again.
3 saved it. Holy cow! Caution's out.
Benefield still spinning it out. He fought the whole straightaway to keep it out of the pack. That was scary for the field.
It looked like he was coming back up, but he locked it down, and then he turned down the racetrack. You know, I really don't want to say it, and I'm not going to, but that definitely was interesting caution to see.
See how he got loose here. Rumbling. Might have got air on the rear again.
Dyson, there might be a commitment line issue. We're going to take a look at that here, I think. I'm not entirely sure. There was an issue where he came below the cone. So I don't know if that's going to be a penalty or not. They might give him one, but Delaney pointed it out. He pulled out and away after the cone.
Well, this could get interesting here. Remember, top 6 just stayed out here, but 7 on back, electing to take a set, or at least 2 tires in the case of O'Brien Jr. I mean, the whole top 3 was below the yellow line?
But no, it wasn't the yellow line. It was that cone sitting on the yellow line. If you go back again, go back for a second here, you'll see it. The 6 car missed it by inches. Whenever the 6 car pulls up, take a look at this cone here. You're going to see it. I don't know if this is a rule or not with this series, but look, there's the cone right there. He's the only one that went by it on the inside and then pulled right back up on the racetrack.
Yeah, that is a good spot there. And nothing that's been said on the race control side about that yet. Sean O'Brien did win the race on pit road with 2 tires to call, and this does pin a lot of drivers in the playoffs laps down. That includes drivers like Hodgson, Stilldeck there, Heitman, and many others will not get the chance to start towards the front. Already want to go signal, and the lead lappers scrambling to get back in line. This is a bit of a bolder strategy. We'll see if this works out for those trying to bank on a tire set here.
I mean, look at O'Brien. He's in a great spot. He came down and he got some tires to help him out. He's going to be the one on the freshest tires on this restart, but he's got Robert Miller with him as well, another car that's pretty quick. So, I mean, it's great to be able to get some stage points. I don't know if he's going to be able to win the stage, but we'll see how they do on this restart. That sun's gone away now, and we're getting to the point where the lights will turn on at any second. You'll start to see a little snap, and the lights will shift from being daytime to nighttime. It'll be blatant and obvious. You'll see it when it happens.
We come to the restart zone. Delaney, Dyson, and Hutchinson, Gitter, Hoytsma, Roman all stayed out. Green, green, green. Back underway, but a tire spin as Delaney holds onto it after choosing the outside. Dyson holds on to second. He did not get a penalty for that cone as Gitter jumps to third.
Really rough exit there for Roman there. He kind of checked up a bit. They're still side by side. They're crashing on the back straightaway. I see one car on the inside wall. That's Tanner Marty. They bring out yet another caution.
Back under yellow. And that's the 29 getting hooked by the 30. Lap cars getting this one out of the way.
It wasn't necessarily the 29's fault there, I don't think. I think that was just, he got up and out of the groove and he had to lift a little bit and the 30 car was coming up. It's kind of just a racing deal here at Darlington. You see that from time to time. It's a common accident that happens here. That 41's all over the back bumper of the 6, though. That's kind of surprising. I don't know if they're going to choose to pit or not. I think they'll choose to stay out. I mean, it doesn't make sense to come down pit road now. I don't know about the rest of those guys, though. Who got the free pass here? Was it Nolan? I think it may have been Nolan Hodgson here getting a free pass.
I believe he was in the lucky dog spot, so he is taking it here. So one of the playoff drivers gets back of the wheel, lap back to 17. They'll get the chance. Last one in the top 16 was Paul Hill. Last caution. But
Big
Delaney,
deal.
Yeah, huge deal. After being down a lap for much of the way, these are the cautions they've been needing to have a shot to score decent points tonight.
I'm just waiting for that moment when the lights change the racetrack. You know what I'm talking about, right? Whenever it's right now in that position where the sun's going away, it will just like rapidly shift from being daytime to nighttime lighting. It'll be kind of wild. I love it when it happens too, but we're getting close to that point where it does. So I'm thinking it could happen under this caution or right around the green flag. We're starting to get so close.
So much excitement to see the car graphical detail completely change.
Yeah, it's just because it's not something you expect to see in real life. You never do. So in iRacing, it's kind of I don't know why, but it's just something that's so fun to watch.
There are lights on.
That we're in a simulator.
Yes. It reminds you that the world simulation, as some would say. We are in a virtual racing simulation. in specificness. Not going to go down the rabbit hole of the other point. But Delaney Dyson on the front row yet again. Tire spin. We've seen a little bit on the last restart. Going to be a challenge here.
I think that's going to happen again, but that Roman car was the one that had the biggest problems on that restart. He kind of dropped back and he blocked Miller and O'Brien from being able to use their fresh tires to get up further. So I don't know if it's going to happen again, but we're going to keep an eye on it and just keep the cars underneath them. We're going to have this little run to the end of the stage, and it's going to be exciting. Who's going to be able to take the stage win and who's going to be able to get all the stage points they need to be able to maintain their position in the championship. Top 7 are all in the playoffs.
Here we go. Coming up to the restart, Miller did swap into the top 7. The top of the caution flag. Galata already up to 9th, by the way, amongst those on the fresher tires by about 13 laps. We go to the restart zone. Green flag is out. Back on our way. No issues this time through the launch, as O'Brien tries the outside to make some moves. Gitter clears.
Well, the 99 getting to the wall there. 99's coming back, and he's coming back with a vengeance. He's going to be there. A lot of cars hit the wall off turn 2, but they keep it straight heading into turn number 3. You got that side-by-side battle. 41 losing some spots as Ralph Hutchinson's trying to make the top line work with some help from his teammate right behind him in the 97. Trying to make it work to get up to the top 2, and it looks like they sure do. 2nd and 3rd right there for Ralph Hutchinson Motorsports in the 97 and the 8 cars. The 41's loose right there in 4th place now.
Bit of a moment there, but able to hold on. A bit more scrapes for Nicholas Vroman. Apologies flying on the radio as Vroom Vroom gets pushed around a little bit, trying to hold on to the top 10 of this race.
Going the wrong direction.
Everybody's got the elbows out once again, each and every one of these restarts, but it shouldn't be a surprise just how difficult it is to get side by side. We've seen all night.
Now Delaney's just got to control his position here. He's not going to be able to scoot out to as big as a gap, considering everybody else who came out here on fresher tires. But I think he's going to be able to gap the 8 and the 97 a little bit. We'll see how it goes over the course of the long run. But that 99 at Galata trying to make a move now on the 15 of Miller. I don't think it's going to work. Miller's going to hang on to the position for now. Heading into the corner, O'Brien's got Miller all over the back bumper.
Yeah, all over the place of these drivers. Here we go. Miller on the 4 tires. Trying to fight to the inside. Oh, and O'Brien floors it to the outside of Dyson instead. What a darty move to try and get alongside.
Oh, he's trying to get everything he can. He knows he's got to get these stage points. He doesn't have necessarily the long run speed that he'd like, but this short run, he's able to get some stage points. I think if he's able to hang on, he made it by Dyson. He was under fire from the 15, but that only helped him in getting by the 41. Now let's see if he's able to do anything with Patrick Gitter right in front of him. Now the tires are getting up to temp. That's going to really start showing who has fresh tires and who doesn't.
It's indeed a little bit of a crafty move again, and here comes Galata. Right now, the drivers in the fresher tires prevailing a little bit here. There goes Galata. Dyson now getting swallowed up by all the drivers on freshies.
Here we go, side by side for position right there. Miller is going to make a move past the 65 of O'Brien, and he's going to make it work too. 15's now trying to make his way to the front. He's got 3 more cars to go, and then he's got Delaney to catch at the end here. We're on lap 191, coming here near the end of the stage. I think one thing you're going to see is that they got to make it a lot further here. So I think the 15 might be able to actually catch the leader before the end of this stage.
Yeah, right now, seeing some of these drivers just try and make sure this long run play works on the newer tires. Miller picks off another. Gitter cycles behind. And at this point, it was a gamble on the track position to maybe bank on the extra tire set, but you have to remember that final stage is a minimum 2 stopper to get through in the first place. there is an overabundance in tire sets in theory, just in case there's cautions, precautions. In theory, Kirk. And so far, we haven't seen cautions, precautions too much tonight.
Only just once here in this stage did we see multiple cautions, one after the other. I mean, now, it's going to be a point where you want to save an extra set in case we do get to overtime or do have a problem where we, maybe not even overtime. I'd say like if we get a caution with 30 to go or something like that happens. Kind of like what we saw here. We saw that caution come out after a couple guys came down to pit road. So, I mean, after the pit cycle, if it would have just came a handful of laps later, I mean, that could really save you if you have an extra set. You can come down with some fresh Goodyear tires and see if you can make it work. I mean, this is a good test for folks, seeing if that's a possibility. Those that stayed out, they're going to have an extra set compared to those who don't. But right now, that 15 was able to get by Lucas Hoytsma. That's up now to the third place spot, and he's got 2 more to go to be able to get to the lead.
Pick them off one by one. Galata looking to keep this up as well. And those fresher tires just allow that extra little bit of cut to be able to exit off. Another pass made, this time on Gitter for the top 5. Running out of laps in the stage, coming around 35 laps to work with here in stage number 2. The 2 tires haven't worked out for O'Brien, by the way. He's right now starting to sink out of those on the 2-tire call.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to get what he can out of it. He's right now running in, looks like 7th that time by. Now he's going to drop back to 8th. That's a big deal. You got to keep every point you can, and he thought getting 2 tires would help him, but folks got 4 around him as well, so that was able to move him up. But it's right now still a net positive if he's able to maintain, but he's got a lot of fast guys behind him right now too that are knocking on the door, trying to make it not worth it for him.
Now, this right now, seeing Miller close up. Galata's up to 4th.
Oh, contact! There goes the 57, and Neil Pearson goes around in turn number 2. Both cars coming back up the racetrack. Look out!
Able to lock it down. And after getting all the damage repairs done, Cam Stone gets into the 62. I am not sure what to say on this one. Watch the run.
62 believes that the 57 owes him one, is what I heard on the radio. That looked a little bit ambitious by the 57, to say the least.
I mean, where was the move going to go?
Yeah, I don't think that was a move. That's all I could say. That was not a move. That was a hey, how you doing? I guess it was a little wake-up call. Luckily, no huge damage for either car. But, I mean, I think that the 57 may have had a run-in with the 62 at some point in the season, and this might be a little payback. But, I mean, it's weird. Stone's in the playoffs. You can't be making moves like this.
No, you definitely can't. And a bit of a sloppy one as under caution once again, as a lot of people pit. Hoffman didn't. And now Cam Stone also staying out. So this is about to get fun on those tire sets now.
Oh boy, this is just, now we're starting to see a little bit of cautions breed cautions, but I'm a little worried, man. This is going to be a wild race. We just got to say though, a little shout out here. Buddy Kevin King here joined this little group to check in on his good friend Adam Benefiel, see how he's doing. So I guess I saw that here in chat. Something that's interesting right now as well is that with this restart coming up, Hoffman and Stone, I think we're going to see a wild thing happen right here. I don't know how that's going to work, what the plan will be for these two, but I am worried sick if I'm anywhere behind them, and that means the whole field got to start getting a little worried.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one for these two up front to make work. At the very least, the 92 gets the lead laps here. Just out of curiosity, where are things going for the best lap for those curious? Joseph Galata in line to take away a point there. So we'll see at this point what happens here. What are you thinking if you're the drivers of fresh tires here for the restart?
Start praying. Just start praying at this point. Hope they don't spin the tires up front. I mean, we saw the 50. He was spinning just a handful of seconds ago. He brought out the caution, and now he's on the front row. I mean, that should start ringing alarm bells for anyone behind him. Vroman's probably in a bad spot right now. I don't know. That 57's tires must be screaming. I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
So the field's lappers being told to let things strain out. We'll see if they heed advice or if they decide to go 17 wide and build a lap car tank. In all seriousness, though, we're coming up to 30 to go. Green flag is out, backing away, and Capstone is getting swarmed.
Just like I said, it was going to happen. There's no doubt about it. You knew it. Look out in the turn one. That 57E is going to be a roadblock on the outside. Get to the bottom and get there quick. DeCiani's stuck.
Gotta choose the right spot here. And at this point, DeCiani's in the wrong lane to choose. Same for Galata here. Oh, DeCiani!
Oh, I knew that was coming. There goes DeCiani. He collects Galata. Hoytsma's involved in heavy contact for Zodiac on the inside of the racetrack. More cars go spinning. That's going to bring out another caution. I see Kyle Ammon hanging on to the race car, and Williams facing the wrong direction on the exit of turn 4.
Caution flag is out. DeCiani now with heavy damage. He tried to go 3 wide. He tried to force his way through.
And that's all sparked from the 57 car choosing not to come down pit road after wrecking. I mean, the Ford car tried to get on by, but he knew he was stuck behind a roadblock, and there was nothing he could do. Either he could try and make that move, or he could just go to the back behind Cameron. So he chose to stay and try to make a move, try to make something work, but there's just not enough room. That 57, no doubt, was going to try and bring out some sort of incident to be able to make his move here worth it.
Tough spot as we see some more angles. Some of the drivers at the back had a hard time being able to respond to the incident. They were battling 3 wide also. And right there you see Williams getting clipped at the end.
Yeah, that's the type of hit that sends people to the hospital.
Yeah, Zodiac got ricocheted up into traffic just about. Let's see what happened to 37, your last starter of the field.
Remember, this type of hit, like, if it happened in real life, this would definitely hurt somebody pretty bad. Luckily, we're in a sim, so it's not going to hurt too bad now, but this is what he saw. A giant wreck in front of him, got on the binders, car got loose, couldn't control it, and hard into the wall. That would have really hurt someone's neck. I hope he's not in an emotion rig.
Well, DeCiani taking an extended period for damage repair, by the way, as you expect. Same for Derek Heitman, this caution flag. Billy Brickley was the lucky dog, believe, under this yellow flag. So Hoffman's going to take top, and that'll make things very easy for Patrick Gitter and everybody else. Capstone stayed out and is in the heart of the field.
Oh boy! Now, if you're Robert Miller, you know we've seen him in his luck this season. His bad luck's continuing. He's stuck behind the biggest roadblock of the year so far in that 57 on 30 lap old tires, 25 lap old tires. But Hoffman's in a different position. Hoffman's leading this thing on really old tires, so this might work out for him. But you got to remember, Stone was spinning. His car, he was all over the place. So that's why it's a little concerning for him versus Hoffman, who's in a different position. He has fresher tires. Better, I mean, his tires are a little less worn out considering he didn't go for a spin.
Great point. Tires aren't cooked out as much, absolutely. But we'll see how Gitter plays this out now. Dyson boxed in at is the meat sandwich, so to speak, on the fresh or the older tires here. Here they come for the restart zone. Remember, the 92 has to go first. Slow roll up to the restart zone. Well, they go at the start of the box, a little bit towards the middle of it, and Stone doesn't go, and he's getting stacked up with Robert Miller. Miller over the bumper, gets pushed back to the edges of the top 10. That continues hard, and Dyson's getting turned around in the heart of the field. A spin now for Hill. He saves it down to the apron. They go 4 wide. Galana gets loose. Several others slam the wall. Now the caution waves as things bundled up chaotically.
Nobody spun out, but the caution came out. Nobody was around. They were loose, yeah, fighting the car. But no, I didn't see anybody facing the wrong direction.
I think it was thrown because there are too many cars on the apron trying to drive 5 wide there.
That's racing. I mean, a little loose here, but that I don't know if that should bring out a caution necessarily. In the back of the field here is where it starts to get even worse. Slight contact, door banging, but that's, I mean, hard hitting the inside wall, that could have brought it out, but I tell you, that was, nobody got spun around there.
I think that last one was part of the caution, actually. But all of that started off not because of Cam Stone here this time. Dyson actually got clipped up the road, and then everybody started stacking up.
Oh, man. We're going to have to take a look at that one again right here. Oh, man. That is wild. Heavy hit for Marty, though. Hate to see it. That car's got a lot of damage now.
It's not been his night. Let's put it that way.
Delaney made contact with that. There was some, remember I said earlier, there was some nefarious things going on, because if you remember back at the road course, Dyson and Delaney got into each, I think it may have been the other way around on a different track, but I know those two got into each other, made contact, and those two cars have a little bit of history of getting into each other, and that was mentioned. So the 6 car might have been paying back Dyson a little bit there.
Now keep in mind, if the cautions continue, we might have a risk of going single file. We've had this happen before, Kirk, to be able to, you know, convince the field to keep it clean. Since side by side can be tricky. The field obviously doesn't want to do that at a, you know, 1.5 miles or anything around that shape here. We've seen it at short tracks here in the series.
This place drives like a short track. I mean, it really does. You got to understand, though, if that ever happens, it's embarrassing. It's not a fun thing to do. I mean, it's something that you kind of have to, I mean, obviously not everybody's the cause of that. It's only just one. The guys who are even really good here, remember this, that's the regular season champion there in the 41. And this, like, 3rd place in the points was Delaney there. So these guys are some of the fastest guys out there, but they were the ones that eventually started the chaos to bring out that caution. So it doesn't matter who you are. I mean, it just seems like there's a lot of serious contention going up here because there's 20 to go on the stage. It's going to be one of those races where you're just going to try and keep the car underneath you. But, I mean, I don't know if now is a good time to threaten the single file restarts. I mean, I don't necessarily see that making sense. We went a long way, green flag for the beginning of the first 2 stages, and now towards the end of stage 2, this is what you're supposed to expect. It's going to happen the way that we got this now. Hoffman, old tires on the outside. Is he going to be able to maintain? He's hoping for more cautions.
So let's find out how this is going to play out now. Still old tires in the heart of the field and up front. Hoffman on the outside. Stone is going to be in the inside row 4 of the restart. And this time they stack up behind Dyson.
Huge
and
crash.
with caution.
7 car. You got the 83 involved. Oh my gosh. That was just a giant stack up that led to a chain reaction crash. You hate to see it, though.
Adam Benefiel for a 3rd time having a moment, and this one does bring out a caution for a 2nd time out of the 3. Believe he's towed the car. Benefiel's parked it. He's out, and wow. Just spun the tires and went right.
If we can ride an onboard... So, well, there goes my hero, says Kevin King. I got to tell you right now, looking at I'd like to see the onboard here. Yeah, here we go. Let's take a look. He spun the tires. I mean, was he on old tires? I mean, he hit the gas and the car just turned right.
He was on 8-lap old tires.
How are you spinning them with only 8 laps on the thing?
First gear restart, maybe?
No, he was in second. It said second. So, I mean, I don't know. It's a lot of cars were involved there, but 7 cars already having a pretty bad day. He was 7 laps down last time I checked, now 6. So, I mean, not going to necessarily do his day any worse, but Benefield definitely did not need that. I mean, he absolutely did not need that.
Single file restarts now, Kirk. And now this is not what the field wanted, but it's what the field gets for the cautions. It's their prize.
I've seen this happen. I mean, this happens in real life on the occasion. I think they did this whenever they ran Bristol Dirt a handful of years ago with the Cup Series. So thinking about it, I mean, it's not completely unrealistic to see single file restarts, especially with the amount of cautions. Okay, that was interesting.
Did he just say he is start? I think they are bored. I think Hoffman said on the radio, I am going to start down here instead.
That was odd.
So, Hoffman, remember, can basically be the Pied Piper on where he wants the race to start. If it starts all the way down here, I don't know what to say. Corey Heim went all the way down there to celebrate a victory this weekend, so there's that.
Well, there's always a chance that I don't think they're going to do that here, but I don't know. I'm a little worried. I'm not sure exactly what their plan will be here, but I'm thinking about it, and with it being single file, that worries me for some restart guys. Anybody behind the 57, anybody behind the 92, which is everybody, I think is going to be in a world of trouble. And also look out for the tire spin.
So Hoffman, Getter, Delaney, Vroom Vroom, Hutchinson, Dyson, Miller, Stone, Pearson, O'Brien, your top 10, and all the cautions have gotten us from 16 on the lead lap now to 20. Bobby Anderson, the last of those drivers. There are only 4 drivers left, 1 lap down in the order. Fields already being warned. Watch for checkups. Well, this has worked out a bit better than Hoffman probably expected here. 14 laps led on this strategy. Green flag is out. Back it away. And how long does the lead last now this time? No one going for any dives yet. In fact, it's choo-choo train time. And nobody spun the tires, nobody with some spins. Now it's going to be Getter on the attack, trying to take the race lead on the fresher tires.
Hoffman's holding his ground, though. I mean, he's got a little colder tires because all the cautions kept the tires cold. And we're getting down to the end of this thing. And the only battle, I don't even see any battles going on in the top 10. That's the problem with these single file things right here. I mean, they did away with that rule long ago for that reason. So, tell you what, it's interesting to say the least, but you got that long train now for the next little while.
Counterpoint, it was fun to see the battles to try and fight for the lead lap back. You know what I mean, in terms of that.
No, that was good. I always like the restart on the bottom at the front. That's what made it pretty good, that system work. Without that, it just makes it really difficult. So,
it is a punishment to go single file full running around. Getter setting fastest laps. Thing is, only by a few 1,000ths of a second because Hoffman also did the same. The tire cycle, the heat cycles definitely playing a factor here for those on the fresher tires.
I think that there's going to start being a little bit of a battle here with some playoff guys. Hoytsma, you see the 12 car, Nolan Hodson. We're looking at the leader here, but he's maintaining. But there's this little battle here in the back where Hodgson's been catching up to the back bumper of O'Brien. I think he's going to make a move here down to the bottom, and he sure is. Take a look right here for position. This is trying to get to 10th for that extra point. Remember, playoff points. You need an extra stage point here, and he's going to be able to do it here if he's able to get on by.
Oh, it's some aggressive battling. O'Brien clears on by on the outside. Hodgson gets back in the line. 65 doing a really good job holding on to the top 10 here, trying to get a stage point or part of the stage points amongst the top 10 here, coming up to the run. Under 15 to go on the stage.
This could be really valuable for that 65. He really needs to hang where he is because he could use every point he can get. That 12 car in the 97 though are right on his tail. So if they try to make any move, I mean, it could upset it to where he doesn't get that extra guaranteed point. He needs it right now. 97 trying to make a move to the inside of the 12 car. They're going to be side by side on the front straightaway here. I think the 97 is going to pull in as the 12 pulls out. Here goes the 12 down to the inside of O'Brien Jr. into turn number 1. It's going to slide up. 65 still fighting it, not giving up, but he hits the wall after contact with Nolan. He loses 1, 2, 3 spots all the way back now, almost losing a 4th and a 5th.
Dragging the wall that time, and there goes O'Brien's chances right now for stage points, if that. Just trying to hold on to what he can, running 13th spot as a result of that contact. By the way, guess what? The 92 is running away in the race lead. Absolutely stunning. When you get that many cautions, that many heat cycles, kind of takes away your advantage on the short run, or rather for even the mid run on the tire difference.
You know, thinking about that, that's going to be something that's you're going to have to keep in mind for the end of this race. I mean, if you're able to do it, if you're able to get to the front with older tires, I mean, you could probably hang on to it if you got these series of cautions that were able to keep his tires cold and even them out, cool them down. I mean, once it gets up to heat again, I think that might change. But right now, like you said, he is pulling away. Battle for second, Gitter and Delaney. I mean, those two guys been up front a lot this year. And they're just trying to chase back down Hoffman. Remember, Hoffman has not yet won this year. Can you imagine the feeling he'd get if he was the one to get the win here for the first time this season, get the first round bye into the second round of the playoffs? And that would be something that would be absolutely phenomenal for him and his team. He'd probably feel ecstatic.
Yep, right now, seeing how things are shaping up in the heart of this field for some of these competitors. Delaney trying to go on the charge. Looking to try to retake the second spot. Still can't get his way alongside quite yet. Just waiting and patiently trying to set up a move. With Gitter having some moments. Now trying to take the air off the spoiler through the entries.
Oh, guys, take a look here. Cameron Stone and the 62 and Neil Pearson. Remember. Oh, actually, we got a battle right here with these two guys, 62. I'm sorry, there's a lot of battles going on. We're going to take a look up here for the battle for second and for fourth. They're side by side all over the place. Robert Miller trying to make a move on the 8 car of Hutchinson. He's on the inside making it work. He's able to make the pass and get by Ralph Hutchinson there. The 15 car denies the 8 car an extra stage point. But what I was trying to make the point of a second ago was that Cameron Stone, remember, got into the back bumper of the 62, and both of them went spinning. 62's all over the back bumper of the 57 again. I think that this might be exciting as the 12 car and the 97 are side by side as well behind him. But remember, 62 and the 57, that contact might not be over.
Yeah, Hodgson snapping around a little bit in that moment. By the way, things have not changed in the battle for second. Now 8/10 back of the leader. Delaney showing the nose. Giving it 5 laps to go on the stage as Gitter puts the power down. Holds on for now. Delaney seems faster, just no place to go yet, Kirk.
Absolutely. He's kind of stuck as everybody else still battles hard. I think that 6 car, he might be able to get the job done here for second. I don't know if he's going to be able to get there. But what I can say is Neil Pearson made it by the 57 cleanly, so that battle's over. But right here, he's going to try and make a move to the bottom. This is the best way to make a pass, but will the 21 be able to carry the momentum on the top side?
Yeah, Delaney finding clean air on the nose, rather, with that run to the bottom of the racetrack. But just can't seem to get it to wrap around to the numbers for the door. As, where are we going? We're going to the Mars. Let's go to space.
Oh, gotta love it, man. I gotta tell you right now, though, something on my mind. I think Cameron Stone's in danger of losing his playoff point. You got Nolan Hodgson there in the 12. Has a little bit more speed than the 57 and fresher tires. This is going to be really rough, but that 12 car, I think, or the 99 is going to be able to get by. One of the two. We're down to the point where we're going to get like 2 laps to go here. And it's going to be one of those two getting this final stage point.
All right, now will Stone be able to hold on to that at this rate? Here's an air send. Here's an air defense. 2 to go. Coming up and Gitter this time. Couldn't hold on to the rears. Pit road is closed. 2 to go. Delaney stays in it, and Gitter's in the wall. Delaney takes the spot.
21 now just got to maintain. Don't let that 15 catch you. You want to keep that point. But the battle now, back here, Cameron Stone and Nolan Hodgson. Here comes Nolan to the inside for position. The 12 car just a little bit further back. There you go, side by side. This is for the final stage point.
Hodgson on the fresher tires in this sequence as there he goes, makes the spot. Also trying to follow on through is the 99. Joseph Galata cuts his way on through. All but one driver in the top 10 at the moment. All but 2, rather. Part of the postseason. Coming up to the green.
Patrick Gitter.
Yeah, I was about to say. Coming up to the green-white checker flag. Clayton Hoffman makes the strategy stand up and stay. Clayton Hoffman takes the playoff point and picks up the stage. Hoffman, Delaney, Gitter, Miller, Vroom Vroom. Amongst the top 5, Hutchinson, Dyson, Hoytsma, Pearson, and Nolan Hodgson are your top 10. We'll take a step aside. Take a small break. You're watching Maconi Entertainment for tonight's coverage of the full-length Cup Challenge from Darlington, the round of 16, first race.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back here at Darlington. I can tell you right now the cars are doubled up after getting some fresh tires and gas, and they're going to be lining up here for the restart. Double file after we had single file restarts for a while. Justin, I got to ask you, man, we got this crazy restart on the way. Have you got any picks or anybody in mind you think we're going to keep an eye on for the last stage of the race?
Wouldn't be surprised if Joseph Galata finds his way to the front with the speed he showcased in the first 50 laps of runs. The thing's going to be, can he get himself through the field? Hoffman and Delaney are ready to start things up on the front of the field. You also have Robert Miller in third, Gitter in fourth, Vroom, Hutchinson, Hoytsma, Pearson, Hodgson, Galata are your top 10. Green, back underway, and the Altus cars, as expected, get the jump.
What a heck of a move by those two cars on the bottom. Teammates making it work, but Delaney was able to let them do that and then make a move to the bottom for the exit of turn 2. Look out. Tight exit. Hard hit for the... Oh, golly. The 62 goes hard into the inside wall. No caution. He's got a lot of damage on the left side, though.
Yeah, now that's going to see the 62 well slow on the racetrack. Still green. So enough to be able to keep him on the racetrack. Let's see what happened.
Just got loose. Couldn't save it. Hit the inside wall really hard on his own. Miller was able to make the pass on, let's see, yeah, able to hang on to the position as Patrick Gitter got on by the 6 car. And now Patrick Gitter's trying to get by Miller as well. But they are really tight-knit out of second place on back. The leaders kind of got about a car length lead over the rest of the field there.
By the way, we just had a car have to peel down pit road. Kyle Amon slammed the wall down the whole back straightaway, scraped it the whole way to turn 4, broke a front end tie rod, and now is down pit road. So top break for one of the drivers that is making a part-time appearance tonight. All while Gitter trying to hold off Delaney. Still battling hard as they keep up the fight in the top 4.
Yeah, just to mention what happened to Kyle. Kyle got a little loose, came up and hit the outside wall, and he was just into the wall the entire time, but he chose to come back down into the pit, so that was not really necessarily caution-worthy, but I hate to see it for that 17 car. He's definitely going to ruin his run today. But up front, man, I'm surprised by how close everybody is in line for, like, this entire front group, going all the way back to Devin Maduros in 16th. I mean, like, holy cow, that line is just so dang close as it looks like Hutchinson on the bottom trying to hang on to the position as Roman looks up top. Look out. Here comes Galata to the inside after Roman had to lift.
Galata slides his way in. Makes the pass as they get into line. Hoytsma now trying to box in Vroom to complete his respective pass, though. Paths are getting more and more challenging, even in these short runs right now, as we've gone to the full nighttime lights. Roman gets the rotation down to the very least. Hodgson into the wall. Here comes Hill, trying it 3 wide for a moment.
Just like that, getting into the wall, the 12th car. Remember, Paul Hill and Nolan Hodgson are friends here. They're kind of working together. So running them side by side like that, I don't think that we're going to see very much contact there, but they're still battling hard as Galata is able to make his way around Ralph Hutchinson for position. He's back up to the top 5 for the first time since going a lap down.
Kind of showcases the 99 speed, doesn't it? We talked about his lap efficiency in terms of led laps. He's led 99 laps, Galata has tonight. All of that from the first stage.
Just start getting worried if you get some clean air up front for that 99. It's going to be difficult, but everyone in the top 5 has had taken turns leading tonight. Every single member of the top 5. And Hoffman's strategy to stay out on old tires worked out, got the stage win, and now he's leading this thing going into the run. So, I mean, with that in mind, exactly what Hoffman needed to do, and his strategy's paying off right now.
Here comes Galata taking another one. 29 3s and 4s right now. Galata, his average is actually slower than Hoffman's, but the last 2 laps, in fact, he was quicker than the race later. So he is slowly but surely picking off drivers. By the way, driver slow on the apron. Kevin Zosiak has come back on the racetrack after 9 minutes of repairs. He's coasting down below. But the race leaders all working with 124 to go. Let's see what happened. You're going to replay. This might be the 17 situation.
I think this is the spot where it happens. He gets up a little high, gets in the wall, comes down to racetrack, and he just overcorrects into the outside wall, and that's what we were talking about earlier. He stayed in the outside wall the entire time, waited for everybody to go around him, and then he turned down into the pit road. So that was what ended up happening to the 17 of Kyle Amon.
See him just right along, had a rough night. Just corrects, and by that point, your thought is, well, we're done. We're done. Sadness.
I hate to say it, but that is so true.
I mean,
it happens to me too, man.
I literally ran a race earlier this afternoon where it felt like we talked about the example where you take a pit stop and then the tires just don't seem to hook up after your pit. Exact same thing happened on a snap, and the thought is, okay, we're done. We just broke a tire rod. We're going straight to pit road, and I am walking away for this broadcast.
Yep, been there. But you know what I got to tell you is the driver here on the racetrack we're keeping our eye on, he's making a move for third. Outside. There goes Galan on the outside of Patrick Gitter. Able to make it work, and he was able to take the spot. Now he's got to chase down the two guys running the VRS, the Altus Esports entries here, Robert Miller and Hoffman. Both guys. It's going to be hard to do it, but I think that 99's has got the. He's Galata, and he's got a lot of speed.
He is flying right now to chip away this gap. Starting to lose a bit of time, though, the past couple laps on the averages. Starting to see things set on up here for Galata. Now, of course, he's got to make sure he doesn't fry the tires. We've seen that the rears start to slide around a fair bit on the long run. What can he do to make sure he doesn't have that slip away to the run while also maintaining speed as we some of these our drivers stay in the dirty air?
Well, I mean, we'll talk more about what he needs to do right here, but we got the 12 car making moves to the inside of the 97 for position. Side by side in turn 1 and 2 is not a fun thing to do, and it looks like it's not going to work out for him either. 12 car had to back out, but what we're talking about for Galata is now he's just got to do it slowly and surely. Can't just overheat one of the tires trying to catch them all right now. You got to go over the course of the entire run. We got 119 laps to go. He can definitely do it. He's just got to pace himself the right direction.
Yep, right now just trying to set themselves up for more spots. Good recovery from Hodgson from his situation after a very quiet start to the night we touched upon in stage 1. Now has shown improvement. He's picking off cars one by one. Now to the bumper of Hoytsma. Just looking for a way to dime it up and set something up soon. And what's the phrase again? That he's a happy guy, you call him? Throughout the season?
Nolan. Yeah, he races in VR just like I do. I always say VR. He puts on that VR headset, and he's a happy guy. Something like that for the 12 car. I always found that interesting in the beginning of the year. We'd have his camera up, and we'd show it. That has been something that's really cool to see out of the 12 team. But, I mean, all year, 2 wins on the season for that 12 car, and just seeing him running as good as he is, trying to make a move down to the 97, but 97 went down the block. This ain't over yet. Here we go into 1. 12 car trying to make it work on the bottom. 97's carrying the momentum on the top. He has to pull back in and try again.
It has to reset, able to block off to prevent a pass attempt. And at this point, it's just trying to set something up in a way to be able to actually make some of these passes work. You see someone that needs to recover here. Hyman's had a horrific race so far. Third stage looking a lot better. He's up to 10th.
What a recovery by that 76. He started at the back of the field. He was running up in the front, I should say, but then he got involved in an accident, got sent to the back. He got down a lap, and then he was able to get his lap back. He's able to compete. Now he's almost top. I think he's already past the 26 to get into the top 10, so that's actually really good driving for the 76 to recover after all that.
Yep, right now, Heitman backing up his corners, but how are things looking up towards the front? Well, Hoffman still leads over his teammate by 7/10, and you also have Galata still trying to find a way to chip away time. He isn't closing the gap though, Kirk. So the time's equalized out for the 99.
Let's take a look at those. Do we have a lap time graphic? I think if we have one of those, I'd love to see it for the top three. I'd love to be able to keep that up here. Let's take a look. You can see Galata ran a lap time that is slightly faster than the top two. So he is still coming. Let's get on board with Galata here for a second if we can. I want to see how his line is different from the 15 car in front of him. Let's take a look. He's going to try and enter a little higher than the 15 in 3 and 4. Use the outside to carry momentum, and he arcs it down into the inside. And as he comes down the front straightaway here, he's coming in like Jaws, trying to make a move now. Getting closer and closer to that rear bumper, and I think he's trying to make a move here any second now.
Not going to be surprised in about 10 laps if we see a side-by-side. Just seems to be trying to get things lined up to get a good launch off the corner here, Kirk. See it right there, diamond line to get to the bottom, get the power down, chip away the gap.
Now, the thing is, you can be faster than the car in front of you, sure, but you got to be a lot faster to be able to make a pass. So he's got to hope for the right situation for him to make a mistake in the car in front, or, you know, something's got to happen to be able to make this work for him.
See right now from the fin, just how
heavy hit.
Oh, that was actually a hit to the wall, and that actually helped him. I know some series warned about using that as an exploit. Even if that's accidental, Galata still makes the pass after it.
That was one heck of a move. If he's able to hang on to position, let's take a look at this. I think he's going to be fine hanging on to it. Miller hit the wall in the exit of 2. But let's take a look at how he does this. This pass is, doing what Kyle Larson tried to do whenever he was trying to catch the 11 car here a handful of years ago. This time it worked for the 99. He got a lot of momentum and speed, and he was able to bounce off the wall and make the video game move to try and get by the 15 car. Just like that. Up to second.
Pick up a spot as more smoke continues to puff up. Coming up to 108 to go. Still plenty of laps to work with. Already was 27 through the run. And at this point, this is part of the balancing act of building setups if you're building for these longer races here as well. Track stayed pretty hot, but you also now have to deal with the racetrack that's not going to be in the sunshine the rest of the way, as we see. How do you describe that balance of trying to build for the daytime versus trying to build a transition race?
You got to just adjust to how the car feels in the moment. Of course, you could build a night car or a day car, and it's just a couple track temp is really the only thing that really affects it. So with that in mind, a little colder track seems to be working out for the 15 and the 92. But that Galata car, he is still, if we look at the lap times again, he is catching them ever so slightly every single lap. I got to tell you, seeing the 15 do that, I mean, it is something that he's trying to do. 15's trying to catch back up here. He used the wall bang that time to try and help him out again. That time he's caught back up to the back bumper of the 99. 2/10 faster that lap using the wall hit.
Yeah, that gonna have to be looked at eventually, but it's also gonna have to make sure not to cause any damage for those types of pings to the wall. 6/10 now is the gap between the top two now. And it's crazy how this has all worked out for Hoffman for now. All because of him gambling on tire sets, getting the cautious precautions. Hoffman has done a great job up front. You see That battle for first box is going to stay in the bottom of your screen for now.
Oh, Galata got in the wall a little bit. Here comes Miller to the outside. He's trying to pass him back.
Here we go again. Side by side. Miller on the outside. Miller. Oh, and a big wiggle. Galata nearly turned the 15. That could have been bad.
Nice job. Nice pass by Robert Miller to get on by. That was amazing. 99 had to lift a little bit. He was in a bad position on the exit of the corner. You'll see that here going into turn 1. See, he had 2 car lengths. It was fine where he was. But I think Galata might be doing something a little different. I don't know. He ran the top, hit the wall a little bit, couldn't get the car to turn down that much, and had to lift after he hit the wall, and the 15 was able to just get the pass done after that. So a small mistake is all that was needed for the 15 to get on by on the top side. But look right here when he got loose. It's going to be the spot that really got him almost wrecked. Oh my gosh, inches from having an accident there for the 15 car. His luck almost bit him again. Let's see what happened from the onboard of Galata here. Yeah, he just got loose. Yeah, you saw that. He turned hard to the left because the car started getting loose, and he had to crank it to the right to save it. So it was that was not an intentional move to try and get to his back bumper. That was 100% just a loose race car.
Yeah, absolutely. Still a scary moment, though, if you're Robert Miller, just with how close the margins were.
Neither Hoffman or Miller have won yet this season, but Hoffman, being the one that's in the playoffs, I mean, I don't know how hard the 15 will be willing to race him if he catches him.
That's got to play a bit of a factor with it being a teammate.
Oh, yeah.
But you were going to say?
Yeah, I was going to say, sorry. I don't mean to fall out there, but, I mean, it's going to be a teammate that you're going to be battling. And the other thing you got to worry about as when that happens is, remember, you guys work together to build these setups. They work together. And so you got to be able to be okay with whatever happens after this race so that way you guys can continue to succeed. I mean, this team is doing really well. They haven't won yet this year, but if they're able to come across the line and get a win, that'd be huge. Absolutely huge for those two. This is going to be something that I'm sure they'll screenshot, save. They're both leading the Southern 500 right now. That's the biggest point that they got to remember. That they're up front in a position to win in one of the crown jewel events. $100 goes to the winner. It's a big deal. So, I mean, they got to be happy about it. But we still got pit stops. They still got to be able to decide when they come down and make no mistakes. We've seen a lot of races in for people when they come down pit road here at Darlington in speed.
Yeah, right now, it's going to get challenging on the windows at the very least. Looks like for the most part, this driver's going to have to start thinking. Do they try and split up the run? Do they try and go for the one stop to limit the amount of time on pit road and risk the chances of falling a lap down in the full cycle? And so far, with the way things have gone, most teams have leaned away from going for a two-stop outside of a couple drivers, because every time drivers would attempt a two-stop tonight, Kirk, for the stages, they got burned.
Absolutely. We've seen the first person come down pit road being a problem. But I'm looking at a driver right now who's not thinking about pit road right now. I think Jonathan Delaney flipped the switch. Something just happened in that 6 car because he's all over the back bumper of Patrick Gitter, and they are catching Galata, which is in turn catching Miller and Hoffman. So I think those two guys are going to be someone to watch. 6 car might be trying to make his way towards the front.
Yep, right now, seeing Delaney try and find the charge. Past 15 laps, Delaney, he's been quicker than all the leaders by a few hundredths a lap. So he's been able to find pace here in the dirty air. The problem is, he's in dirty air.
He's kind of stuck. He's got to use that wall bank that we saw earlier, even though that's not allowed. So it's just, I don't know, man. It's going to be hard to pass.
Yeah, right now, you can see that time difference between him and the leader. Past 2 laps to pick up time. Now, just has to find a way to peel to 21 off his preferred group. We've seen heavy battling them earlier for a stage 1 or stage points.
This is the part of the race where so much concentration is going on. You just want to make sure your car doesn't get into the wall, doesn't get too much damage. You're able to make up time, save tires. There's so much going on. When do I pit? I have no idea. Looking at the other drivers, seeing what they're doing, trying to take that into effect. This is where it gets the most stress on a driver, I think, is once you get deep into the run, just like this, and you get to the point where you're like, okay, when's the time to pit? You got all these things on your mind, and that's just really making it difficult for the drivers. But I've always said that drivers like Delaney here, I mean, both of these guys, Patrick Inter and Delaney, are catching the top two. I mean, everybody's starting to come together here. We just saw the leaders get by a lap car, William Owens now. You're going to see him come into the picture on the top left of your screen behind the ticker there. So with that 99 catching them, 30's going to get out of the way. But everybody's closing in on each other. It is now from first to fifth, less than a second and a half between the top group here.
Yeah, right now everybody's staying close. Derek Heitman just pit. I think Heitman is committed on the 2-stop. The 76 is in on an early stop with 93 laps to go.
This is big. He's going to need this to go green for it to work out for him. They're wrecking on the front straightaway. The 65 just spun. Caution's out.
Well, that didn't work out for Derek Heitman, did it?
Not for O'Brien either. Remember, this is for the points here. What happened here? I think there was some contact between Dyson and O'Brien.
Yeah, you can see Dyson right behind. Does that play a factor?
The 65 got loose. Yeah, contact with the 41. Heavy damage for the right front of the 41, but 65 holding the brakes on the inside of the racetrack. Man, that 76 just cannot get a break. However, there is a chance, I think, that he might be the he actually might be close to the free pass. Maybe. It's really close. But considering the 76 came down pit road when the caution came out, he was a lap down, I think. I'm not sure exactly who may have been it, but we're going to have Green's flag pit stops. Everybody's going to come down and take tires, except for Heitman.
That's the second time Heitman's been down pit road, by the way, and a caution came out. It's just not been his night for strategy calls. Tanner Marti, believe might have been lucky dog based on the scoring. Indy can confirm he's flooring it past the pace car. And that will put us to only Heitman 1 lap down. Everybody else is 2 laps down or more in this field.
But they're going to get their lap back from doing a wave around. Heitman's going to have fresh tires, and he'll be able to get that wave around to help him out a little bit. But here's the money stop. Who's gonna be able to get this off pit road first? That's a big deal. Hoffman, it might be Miller. No, Hoffman's got it right now, and it looks like Hoffman's going to hang on to it. And Galata might have taken 3rd place, and he did. So that's a gain for the 99.
Able to get himself in the road 2 for the restart. But Hoffman maintains the lead. 80 laps led now for him. Everybody did
Patrick
take...
Inter.
Yes,
Penalty.
speeding.
Oh my gosh. Big playoff problem there for the 21. I saw him slowing down. I was like, please don't tell me. Yeah, money stop. You got to be careful on pit road.
It's still a 1-stopper from this point forward on the strategy. Here's a look at Gitter. I think he floored it too much trying to pass by Galata to get the inside.
It wasn't on pit. I don't think it was on pit exit. That didn't make sense for it to be pit exit. I mean, it was very slight. I'm looking at his pit road speed the entire way. He got the 56 a few times. Oh, no, absolutely. I think it's on pit entry. He was 47.48 when he passed the commitment cone. And so he was speeding on pit entry, I think. Barely.
So with that being said, 88 laps to go in what has been a lengthy one here for the FLCC Southern 500. Hoffman, Miller, Galata, Delaney, the top four. Hutchinson, Vrooman, Lucas Hoitzma, Hill, Dyson, and Bobby Anderson is now in the top 10 for the first time. Ready to get back rolling here. 3-start zone, the Altus cars work. We'll see how they battle. Now side by side. Inside line gets the better jump. Galata to second already.
Oh, you hate to see that outside line fall back like that. That's a big problem for Miller. He's going to be able to fall into third place there, as Hoffman's got the lead.
See some of the others still battling it out, like Lucas Hoitzma. Hill goes up the circuit. Some of the others still going 2x2, like Matt DiCiani trying to recover Brickley in the wall. Right now, Billy Brickley just getting eaten up alive to start off this run. He's now in the wall again. All of them all the leaders getting single filed out already here as they try and battle it out. There's a look back at Brickley. He is still trying to defend from the outside. Look at this up front for Miller. Trying to keep up with Galata and try and find a way to get a team 1-2 back. They work their way through with Galata on the high side. He tries to work his way around, able to defend. Hoffman still able to take advantage of the clean air. Remember, Galata was a little bit quicker on the long run before things equalized out. This is one of his prime opportunities if he wants to be able to control this race lead here, Kirk.
Now, thinking about this is such a short gap from the lead to second place. Hoffman being in the playoffs, I mean, he needs to be able to win, but the 15 just got in the wall. Big checkup from third place like that. Not what he needs. The 99 has already won, but remember, he's just going for more wins. He only has 6 starts this season. This is the 7th start. Led a lot of laps. He's fast. We know that. But is he able to get by Hoffman? That's the question. These top 5 are all equidistant from each other. I mean, it's phenomenal to see this type of racing here at Darlington. One thing I'm worried about, though, is, I mean, you can see the lines are different there. The 99 goes high and then arcs his way low on the exit of turn 4. It's what we've seen lap in and lap out. Will he be able to continue doing that the rest of the run? He hasn't been doing that for the entire race, but it's where he gains momentum in the early run. So we'll see if he's able to get to Hoffman's back bumper doing that as they keep hitting the wall on the exit of 2.
Yeah, so far just using that as a balancing board at the wall. And drivers are going to have to be careful they don't hit that too hard at this rate here in this one. Looking at some of the errors in the lineup as we go down the start and finish line, you see some of the battling Hudson on Brickley. And Brickley shifts back again all the way down to the back of the field. Not Brickley's night in the 44 machine, to say the very least. One of the Renko setups.
I mean, he's having a better night than some other of the playoff guys. You got to remember this right now. Benefiel, he's out of the race, 29th. Murray, he's out of the race. He's still racing, but he's 5 laps down in 26th. Then you got Heitman. He's at the tail end of the line there with some damage. And then Nolan here. Nolan's running right now in a great spot, considering that he's ahead with one guy who didn't start the race, Matthew. Considering Matthew didn't run the race today, that's going to be making him in a position where he's going to be in a net positive compared to the bottom 4. So he's going to gain positions on the cut line as long as he finishes where he is, or better.
See right now, they get on through. Hill trying to set something up on Vroom Vroom still. And Hill's kind of bounced around a little bit back and forth, and he bounces off the wall. What a save.
Oh, yeah, but he ain't done. He's got to hang on to that race car. He just got passed again. He got a lot of right front damage. That's a big deal for Paul Hill here. He did not need that. Remember, he's running in a great spot, top 10 one of those things that can guarantee a round, going on to the next round, but that hit really did some damage here.
He just said on the radio.
He
just said it was. You had said on the radio it was terrifying.
Yeah, I heard it. I was like, holy cow, that really scared him. He knew how big of a deal it is. He cannot make a mistake like that. Do not do that again. As they're still side by side back here for position with O'Brien and DeCiani. DeCiani's getting freight trained right now. These are all playoff drivers right here, these 4 cars in your screen.
Now, all of them staying close in this situation. All these drivers have had some rough moments back here in this situation. Gitter has had track position up in the front much of the evening. But right now at this point, it's about how they can finish the runs out if they want any opportunity to be able to get a good finish here. Up front, the lead is starting to separate. Galata has not been able to eat into Hoffman's gap.
Not at all, man. It's in a position now where I think he's going to need to save a little something for the end of this race. He's going to need to save everything he can to be able to have a final push here at the end, maybe save tire a little better than the leader. But he also cannot let that third-place car get on by him. He's all over the back bumper there, so he's kind of forced to run a little harder than he might want to. But Hoffman still hanging on to position, but he's just got to maintain, save some tire, manage the gap, and he'll do fine. But right now, he lost a little bit of time that last time by. We'll see if that happens again. But the 99, again, doing that little diamond in the turns 3 and 4 to get a little bit of momentum down the straightaway, and it is working for him. That time by, he was a little faster as well, I believe. Yes, he was.
Yep. See that margin right now on the time differential. Galata on the left, Hoffman on the right. And you have to keep in mind, these drivers also have to consider pretty soon how things are going to go on the fuel markers, because green light to make it on fuel for certain is in a couple laps time, Kirk. Right now, the estimates say drivers are 4 gallons out of the good to make it on fuel, give or take. Right now, the estimate, 58 laps to go in the run at most.
So who's going to pit and win? We saw Heitman. What happened to him? You do not want to end up like Heitman, where you had to come down pit road and then take a wave around because of a caution. I think these guys are going to wait the long run. But who's willing to risk it and come down early, take some tires, and hope there's no caution? Because if they're able to do that and it pays off, that pays dividends down the run. That's going to be a big deal. But these top 2, still, Galata's gaining more and more and more over this leader in the 92. This ain't over yet, but this is going to be one heck of a battle down to the end of this thing with only 72 laps to go when they cross the stripe. Side by side with Lucas Hoitzma and Vroman right now on the exit of turn 4. Look out.
Oh, Hoitzma had to go way low on the racetrack, and Vroman holds on. Vroman holds on to 6 once again. Cost of a lot of time from that battle, though. And something just happened with Komacheski, by the way. He just ducked down to pit road. Had been still running in this race on the lead lap. Not anymore for the 88, as you see the different lines for the battle on screen.
This is a scheduled stop for that 88 car. So he's choosing to come down. He was running like just on the cusp of the top 10 there. So it's important to remember that. As Patrick Gitter, remember the 21 car, he was running in a great spot all race, but he dropped back. Now he's outside the top 10. Something's wrong with that 21, and he's got Cameron Stone all over his back bumper. All these playoff guys have been racing really hard around this little area here. DeCiani, Sean O'Brien Jr., Hodson, Stone, and Gitter all under a blanket right now in turns 3 and 4.
Points are points, and now Hodson takes one. Stone dropping behind the 12 with the run from the outside. And there's some give and take. O'Brien next up, and Sean O'Brien had to check up a little bit. These drivers aren't racing each other too hard, but they also know they're all in the playoffs. They're racing like it. Like they know they have to pick up every little advantage just in case of the cut line. Oh, and a big wiggle, Stone. Bit of a slam of the bumper hearing. Can't confirm The wiggle.
Packing air.
Yeah, 57 got loose in the pack in air, and then the contact.
But this battle for third right here, we got to keep an eye on this. This is going to be really important here. Nice.
Yes. The drivers having a nice old time of the racetrack here. But Galata just trying to hold on for second now at this point because Miller's got to run. Miller's got to charge. Now side by side for second. Side by side, and Galata's getting too loose. Remember the tires? About the rears? He's got the rears on fire.
This is all Hoffman wants to see, this side-by-side battle with his teammate right behind him, able to make the pass. Robert Miller to second. Hoffman's got a buffer.
And now it's a top two. 1-2 for Altus. And this will be really good for the organization to be able to set the momentum and the tone for the start of this playoff to show they could be a team to reckon with for those, at least for the rest of this round. Especially if Hoffman can get himself a win and punch his ticket already to advance.
I think that there's also a problem with that leader's car on terms of the paint scheme. I don't think he has his contingencies on that car. I mean, if he wins this race, that'd be great. But typically, once you get to the playoffs, you kind of want to keep the contingencies good, meaning the gold plating is not there on that 92 car. That's a big deal because at the beginning of the season, they were talking about how those contingencies could, if you continue to not use the correct one, could lead to a penalty for one of the future races. So if he wins, he needs to win so that way he can lock himself in and not worry about next week if there is a penalty for that.
Yeah, he's still running the banners all the way from, I think, the FLCC 600.
That's right. Yeah, still running the biggest race that we had at Charlotte, the longest race of the year. He still has the same car. He hasn't changed it.
Yeah, he's going to have to remember that for next week, especially to put on the win sticker if he holds on. But right now, seeing some of the errors still line up. Lucas Hoitzma, top 10 speed at the very least, trying to charge the corner. And so many times people have missed that corner apex and it's almost sailed that car off and burned up the front by doing that.
A 5 car, something must have happened to Bobby Anderson here.
Yeah,
lost a handful of spots, but got back in line here in front of Devin Medeiros in the 20. Let's see what happened.
Let go a lot of cars. Komacheski just now exited pit road, by the way. So something happened to the 88. Also, let's see what happened with 5 here. Just stepped out.
Got a little loose. It's going to happen that way. Was able to keep the car going.
This is what happened to Komacheski. Hearing a black flag was why he came back down. So Komacheski obviously having an issue when going cone to cone here.
He lost 8 laps in that particular time. Let's see what happened to the 88 here. I mean, it was a clean exit. It may have been speeding. I think it may have had to be what it was. Maybe excessive speeding. I'm not sure. Galata's losing time to Delaney now. Delaney's catching up to that back bumper, the 99. And Robert Miller and Clayton Hoffman are just starting to pull away. And I do got to mention, like, this battle here for third place could be important because if the 6 can get by and catch Miller by the end of this thing and have a good pit stop, who knows? The strategy might be a big deal too. Some people might just take 2 tires as it looks like a huge send from the 97 of Lucas Hoitzma on Nicholas Roman.
He's able to move up a spot. Looks like Dyson doing the same thing. Top 10 speed for Dyson today. Involved in some incidents, but the black machine has been able to pick up spots as of late.
The man in black is taming the lady in black a little bit. Got to tell you, that's pretty good right there, running an 8th.
Here's a question. What happens if drivers reach the incident limit at Darlington? Hearing that a few drivers in the sim might be getting close to that with some of the contact tonight.
I mean, I'm not entirely sure if that's possible. I mean, it'd be surprising to see that happen if it does. But what I'm worried about mostly right now is when they choose to come down, what they choose to do with pit stops. I mean, are you going to take 2 or are you going to take 4? I mean, it could really decide how your race is going to go. As Heitman, we've seen him come down. Look out, there might be another caution if he's on pit road. I hate to say it, but it's happened twice. I hope it doesn't come out, but that's 76 choosing to come down early to try and take advantage of fresh tires.
Yeah, there was questions on the radio. Is Derek Heitman down pit road yet? In terms of the caution potential. And everyone's searching for tires and fuel. No caution. And we'll see if Derek Heitman has it stay green for him. Sean O'Brien is going to pit this time as well.
Well, O'Brien's going in there really hot. Hang on to it. Remember, we saw him miss pit road entry last time. This time he's able to get it woe down and at pit speed by entry. Well done by the 65.
Yeah, no issues. Use the high lane as well. Absolutely. And still the 65 doing a very good job in terms of where he's been running on the racetrack throughout the stage and since stage 2's mid portion. But back to Delaney. Again, one of the fastest drivers long run here tonight. Here O'Brien just took 4 tires. Should see 4 tires from everybody. But Delaney, you put those 4 tires to work to the bumper. Inside line, 99's pitting.
Smart choice to come down. We'll see if he can get it woed up. Get on slow. It's a little loose. Hang on to it. Great pit entry, and it looks like he's going to be able to make it down and not have speeding issues, I don't think. It didn't look like he had any speed issues there. He's keeping it right on the marker.
Bobby Anderson also has peeled on down, so pit road given a very active place here for those trying to go in the short pit. And the leader's not responding yet. They seem in sync on their strategy call, obviously. When would you pit? Remember, this run was 90 laps to go when they first came down under caution.
Stay out as long as you can if you follow the trends. If you think it's going to go green to the end, you stay out. You come down pit road. But based on what we've seen, side-by-side battle here, look out. Roman able to not hit the wall there, and the 41's able to get by. But here comes Paul Hill making another move on Nicholas Roman as well. Down to the inside. Again, all these cars on in your picture are playoff drivers. This is battling for 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th from 41 on back.
Right now here in Tanner Marty is the next one to come
91,
on down.
92, something happened to Hoffman. Something happened to Hoffman. Hoffman had an issue. He missed pit road. The 92, the leader of the race, missed entry to pit road, overdrove it.
Oh my goodness, and this straight shakes up everything. He ran into the commitment cone and hits the back of Hutchinson. Used the 8 as a brake. Let's see what happened initially. And this scrambles the run for the 92.
Missed pit entry. He has not won all season. This is the money stop. He needed to make it a clean entry. 15 goes by on the top sign, and he just overdrives the entry. And he couldn't quite make it. He hit the cone, so it would have been a penalty if he would have pit. So he had to stay out and go another lap. And he pitted with the 8 car of Hutchinson, who whenever the 8 car was on pit road, he was running in the 8th place spot. So he only lost 9 spots, essentially back to 9th. So now it's a matter of, is he going to be able to recover from this? I don't know.
Yeah, here it's going to be the part with the 8 machine. You see this time, able to gather it back in, went much more shallower. And Hutchinson has just been early on the brakes. I think both of them made the speed limit.
He was 7 miles an hour under the limit, Hutchinson was.
There are no black flags in that situation. But right now, where did he cycle? Well, he's behind the 99 of Galata. Joseph Galata would be the net leader by a decent chunk of change as they head their way down the Boeing backstretch.
That's if they stay green to the end here. That 92 he knows that he made a mistake, but he's got to ignore that and drive the fastest laps of his life. He's got to push hard this entire run. There's no chance he has if he doesn't do it. He's got to push hard. The 99 of Galata, though, is in a position where he's doing something, he's doing exactly the same thing. So he's got to go against stiff competition. But the leader of the race, Robert Miller, right now, running 29.9s. The driver of the 99 of Galata, 29.3. So that's more than half a second a lap where the leader is losing compared to Galata. DeCiani chooses to come in. So does Nolan Hodgson.
Nolan Hodgson peels through. Robert Miller just came down this time by as well. So Hoytsma also will duck down. The wave is in for the leaders. Dyson stays out for now as these drivers go 44 laps through rather than the 34. Some of the others did. 45 laps to go. Next time by.
Well, that's going to be a big deal, guys. I mean, we're going to see how it stacks up. A lot of contact here. Look out, Galata side by side with Delaney. This might be for the race win. Delaney to the inside of Galata.
Side by side with Cam Stone in front.
No doubt that was going to happen.
Delaney had to go for it and now is in front of Galata. Heavy traffic takes away a chance for Galata, and Galata is on 4-lap older tires. The 6 is in the lead. Net lead.
There's no doubt that was going to happen. There goes the 15. That's Robert Miller. He's going to be on the back bumper of the 6 with fresher tires, too. The 99 gets into the wall. This is going to be the battle for the lead. These 3 are all under a blanket. 99 with slightly older tires than the rest.
And this now gets really intriguing. Fire off's going to be there for Miller. The difference also 4 laps. 4 more drivers left to go. Dyson and Williams just came down. Stone and Brickley are the last not to pit yet. Here comes Miller outside for the net lead on the newer tires. He makes it work outside and takes the spot.
This is the best thing he can do for his teammate who had that mistake on pit road. He needs to be in this position now because the 15 car, if he stays out and is able to win this race, he saves, he refuses someone else who's in the playoffs a chance at a win and free bypass for the next week. So that's important to remember. If the 15 wins, nobody else is locked in for next week. It's all put on the 15 shoulders right now.
Yeah, now he's just got to keep it clean if he wants to be able to get his first win of the year. 25 seconds up to those staying out. And for Cam Stone, it's a Hail Mary, hoping for a caution flag at the right time at this point. He's been involved in cautions tonight. He needs to keep the car wrapped in bubble wrap and then hope somebody's bubbles pop.
Now, even though Hoffman might not get that first win of the season here, I mean, he's in a position where he's still going to have a great finish. He's still going to be disappointed about that pit entry. But, yeah, if you're Cameron Stone right now, stay out as long as you can. Hope for a caution. We saw it earlier. It could happen. But even if there is a caution, you got to remember he's still going to be someone who is not going to be able to – he hopes it goes green for a little while longer and then a caution. He needs to stay out for as long as he can, not get passed by Miller. If he gets passed by Miller, then he needs to start coming down to pit road. Or maybe in that range. But if he's able to hang on to where he is, same thing with Billy Brickley. If the caution comes out at the right time, they might be in a catbird seat to steal one. Oh, nope, he's choosing to come down.
There he is. Only 50 laps through. So Cam Stone is in. Billy Brickley, the last one through, is chaos. Murray goes on the bottom of the
76.
racetrack, hearing that something's happened with Heitman on the radio as well. Yes.
Heitman was 3 wide with the 12 car and the 41 of Dyson and got contact. The 76 got in to the wall. Let's take a look at this a little further back. It was a while. Actually, this might be it right here. Let's see. All right, so let's take a look. 76 just got passed by Paul Hill. He had to lift a little bit. 12 car is going to get a lot of momentum here. Because of that, he's going to be able to make a move, but the 41's got a lot of momentum. He's going to come into the picture, be 3 wide here on the bottom. 12 car knows that going into turn number 3. 12 tries to give the 41 room, but the 41 goes below the dotted line, a little lower than the 12 was expecting, gets up into the 76 and sends the 76 into the outside wall, and he is not happy, crossing the stripe currently at this time in 14th. But Nolan's still making moves right now. He's making a move on Paul Hill now for position, able to get by. But looking through this field, I mean, you got to be thinking for Delaney, Miller here. Billy Brickley's the only one staying out right now. He's staying out on the racetrack really long. The 44, we haven't talked about him all race. Billy Brickley's kind of had a mid-pack year, to be honest with you, but I mean, this is his only chance he has. He stays out as many laps as he can. That's probably the best bet for that 44 team.
Yep. Hearing we just got an incident point disqualification. Del Madero's just got DQ'd. That's after contact with the 65 of Sean O'Brien that did not bring out a caution.
Oh, that was the 65 spun on the exit with contact. So the 65 was, we saw a caution for this exact wreck earlier in the race. Somebody got loose off the exit of the corner and went down to the infield, and they called the caution for it at the beginning, but it's not happening here at the end. So 65, after getting loose, no caution. Take a look right here. Loose here, overcorrects up into the 20. Wrong place, wrong time, but we saw someone stopped here, sideways, on the front straightaway early in the first stage, and that brought out a caution. It happens again here.
Didn't go sideways. He kind of did keep momentum. And now we stay green. O'Brien will have to deal with damage, though. He is a part of those 1 lap down. Brickley still extending things. Here comes the run for the 97, though. Fresher tires than Hutchinson. Breezes by his teammate. Yeah, right now, running out of laps in this race for many of these drivers at this point here, Kirk. The fatigue, again, has to be settling on in. One of our longest races of the season, almost up towards the 4-hour mark.
I think that right now, Miller's in the position where it's his race to lose. He's just got to hang on to the race car, not make any mistakes, and he's got this thing in the bag. Remember, he hadn't won all season. He had speed all year. Bad luck bit him and took him out multiple times. He's got 33 laps to go right now, and nobody is in his zip code. He's a lot faster, and he's catching Billy Brickley, who's our current leader. Now, if we get a caution, that's going to severely help Billy Brickley, because I think a lot of people will come down and take tires again. But if he doesn't come out, then it's going to be Miller's race to lose again.
Yeah, there was some move now. Once again, the 97 on the outside this time. Lucas Hoitzma, top 7. Next up is Vroom Vroom, then Hoffman. The lead for Billy Brickley, by the way, is down to 10 seconds on the racetrack. The 44s hope for a caution to try and steal a win. All depends upon someone, anybody. Having bad luck, he has not had the best of luck in speed tonight, as we touched upon earlier. At this point, it's Hail Mary. It's a 2-second net lead for Miller over Delaney as we look back at the 97.
There's a group of cars that are like really close to each other right here, I think, that are going to be battling for sure down to the wire. This is like the battle we're looking at right here, the 97, 21, the 8 car. They're all right on top of each other, so it's going to be important to keep an eye on this, because it's going to be one of those races where you need to get everything you can. And so they're going to make race-winning moves for 7th, for 8th, because they need to be able to do this to gain those points.
It's going to be interesting where the playoff points really shake up in the end to be able to get to the next round at Gateway, mind you. Worldwide Technology Raceway going to be an intriguing racetrack in St. Louis to see where these drivers were able to make some passes at another egg-shaped like track.
I mean, imagine this.
There goes Brickley. He's in. And this puts, he's in the lead. Miller's in the lead, Kirk.
I was going to tell you, Robert Miller here all year just has not had anything go his way. He's been up front. He's been fast. He's been able to lead laps, but then something would always happen to hurt him. And so now he's in a position where he's in the race-winning position. He's just got to hope and pray that nothing happens. But I wouldn't hold it against the folks if something does. These guys are really battling hard back here.
Yeah, we're really seeing that now with how Hoytsman has passed by everybody here on the fresher tires. Next up is going to be that 92 machine of Hoffman, then Galata. The undercut didn't work out. Those on the overcut strategy that had track position have played this perfectly here at Kirk.
You know, it's interesting to say the least that this battle's going on right here. Patrick Gitter in the 8 car, Ralph Hutchinson, look out, very tight racing here. They don't want to lose any more spots. They got to ride where they are. Got to remember to get by round 1. If you can ride by round 1, it's a benefit to you. So it's important for them to be able to do that. Delaney wants to lock himself in. He's trying to chase down Miller, but he just doesn't have the speed right now. But these guys on your screen it's essentially some people who are starving trying to fight each other for scraps. That's what this is right here. They're trying to get the scrap meat, the extra point here and there, doing whatever it takes to get it. And so right now it's pretty like 95%, but once we get the 10 to go, it's going to turn into 100% very quickly in terms of how hard you push. Right there, very close for the 8 car and the 21. I mean, he's trying everything to get by. He just can't seem to do it, as Dyson's going to try and take advantage of that.
Steed runs the bottom. But again, Hutchinson doing a good job on the defense. Dyson still has the fresher tires, though, to be able to give him that better rotation and better cut. That's why he's keeping this fight up. A little bit of a scrape to the wall for the 8. Has to let him go this time.
41 just showed them both up. He was able to pass them both just like that. Now he's got to chase down that 21 of Gitter here if he's able to do it. I think he will. I think that's 41 just started, making a move towards the front. And he could probably get up to about 5th, I think, if he's able to hurry. But Hoytsma's really making a push towards Hoffman right now.
Trying as hard as he might. Dyson, one of the faster cars of the racetrack, by the way, in the 29 seconds. Around 29.9s with side by side. But the past 15's been in the 29.6s on the average. About the same pace as the race leader. 21 to go at the stripe, by the way, as Dyson might be in line for a top 5 if things go his way, like we're seeing with Lucas Hoytsma on the knockdown speed. Just taking his time here. Doesn't have to rush things, Kirk.
Kind of is in a position where he might have to. We're getting down to 21 laps to go. I mean, you got to get every spot you can as quickly as you can. You got to keep thinking, keep going forward, push the car as hard as it will go, and see what happens. The 88 of Kulmacheski is choosing to come down pit road again. So he's going to be heading down. I just saw that happen here just a second ago. But everybody else, single file, they're going to have the 44 of Brickley, who's on faster tires, who's a lap down. He's going to be catching this group here. So that's going to put another thorn in this little battle here. So they got to look out for that 44 who's on rails because he's got fresher tires. But they are still side by side, and Dyson's there trying to help Vroman go by on the outside. Not going to work that time. 21's diving in deep. He's leaning on Vroman. No contact. They keep it straight. Single file continues. 44 just got loose behind him.
This is getting a little bit dicey here. The Dyson machine takes the bottom. Hodgson also joining in on the fight. And contact. Up in the wall goes the purple machine. And now it's offset 3 wide. Gitter tries to cross up. Hutchinson tries to pass by Vroman. Nowhere for Nolan Hodgson to go. Everyone getting tangled up.
Now, this is a great battle right here. I mean, this is just wild racing. Nolan Hodgson trying to make a move to the inside of the 8 car. Hodgson on the bottom, trying to make the bottom line rotation working, and it is working really well. Dirty air not helping the 8 car, but that Roman car is just really off the pace. He's not able to hang on to it so much, so as well was able to get to the quarter panel. Oh my golly, that was almost squeezing up into the wall for the 12 car, but he hung on to it.
Yeah, a little bit bold for some of these moves at this point. But I mean, we're late in the race, Kirk. You're running out of time to make these moves, and the urgency is picking up. Look at this.
Take a look at that pass that we had for Hoytsma.
Yeah, this is expected, by the way. The 97 had been knocking down time quickly to be able to get in the top 5.
Just like that, but remember, there's 8 seconds from that 97 right now to the leader, so there's a giant gap. Delaney's 3 seconds back, and this is for the lead of the race. But right here, contact, look out! Hang on to it. Hard contact with the wall for Roman. Roman's kind of a rolling roadblock right now, sitting in 9th.
Yes, indeed. A little bit darty now. Roman just holding on for dear life for points here. 15 to go for these drivers at the stripe. Hutchinson gets more into the throttle. And now another one squeezes the 95.
See if he's going to be able to hang on to it here into the corner. The 8 car has been washing up. He's not very good in that second lane down. Looks like that Roman's able to hang on to it and really tight up the corner. Contact! There goes Paul Hill spinning on the back straightaway into the inside wall. No caution. No caution. Now there it is. Caution's out.
And this is a big caution. Yellow flag is out. Let's take a look as things stacked up at accordion, and now it comes down to a late race restart.
Saw that there outside the 8 car. He's going to get out of the lane. So much so he had to check up. 26 was in the way. Contact sends the 26 spinning into the inside wall. And that is not what he wanted to have happen. He did not need that to happen. Heavy front end damage for Paul Hill. He's in a position now where he's going to need to absolutely get that as much damage fixed as he can and stay on the lead lap. He cannot go a lap down right now. There are too many cars 1 lap down to be able to lose.
Lots of points now to lose for Hill. Depending on how bad the damage is, could see him as far back into the 20s. And now, should see a full wave of pit stops. No way you stay out here.
Oh, absolutely not. You do not stay out. Here we go. That 15 car diving in. I think we saw a lot of them are staying out that are lap cars, but everybody else coming down. Big advantage to Miller and Delaney as they have a huge gap to the rest of the field.
Tanner Martin did come through. Pretty much everyone on the lead lap coming on down here. Less than 10 laps to go when we get back underway here. As here we go. By the way, Lucky Dog spot appears to may have been Dave Hoytsman. No one took the wave around though, technically on the racetrack.
Who's going to get the win off this pit road? Miller goes. Miller's going to do it. And Hoffman, I think, took 2.
A lot of people risking on 2 tires. Top 4 all took 2. Miller, Delaney, Hoffman, and Dyson all took 2, so did Gitter, so did Vroman. Big gambles, and that's for track position.
Gosh, I cannot believe what's happening here. Look at who's back in this. Hoffman is back. He has a shot at this. He's got a lot of speed in that 92. Now, is he able to get on by? I think what I would expect is his teammate, Robert Miller, I think is going to make a deal with Hoffman, and they're going to make sure that they start in the same lane. I think that you see Miller choose the outside. That way they can both get a good jump, try to both get by Delaney, and we'll see what happens after that. But with 12 laps to go, anything could happen. 2 tires is going to make it. I mean, I don't know how that's going to look. This is going to be wild. Hoytsma's the first one on 4 tires.
Yeah, we've seen the 2 tires fall off after a little bit, but we're talking about 30, 40, 50 lap differences, left side to right sides. 10 laps to decide it. Again, also back in the top 10 with this caution, Derek Heitman.
What a recovery for that car, man. He's gone lap down multiple times, poorly timed cautions here and there, and now we're coming to the restart. Gonna have 10 lap shootout to go here from Darlington. Ooh, man, I'm excited. I cannot wait to see what happens here, man. This is gonna be wild.
Here we go to the
seat.
Yes, indeed. To the restart zone. The Altus car's on the inside. Watch the jump. There they go. No tire spin. Robert Miller clears. Hoffman going for second.
Hoffman on the bottom. He's loose. He's really loose. Trying to hang on to it. He's still loose. Got contact hard into the outside wall. He's spinning. He collects 5 playoff cars, 6 playoff cars, all wrecking out of turn number 2. Huge accident. Multiple cars involved. And this will bring out yet another caution, all from contact from Patrick Gitter, all over the back bumper of the 92 on the restart. Take a look here, heading into turn number 1.
Yeah, chaotic sequence to say the least. Watch this. Got loose, stayed loose, never gripped up.
Roman, Hodson, Heitman, Hutchinson, Gitter, all involved. DeCiani involved as well. Multiple playoff cars. This is a big deal.
Yeah. A lot of damage on Hoffman. Delaney gonna definitely benefit to having a restart here. Robert Miller still held on in front of the jump. Derek Heitman now is in the top 5 from that, but with damage.
So counting the number of cars involved in that, I think 9 out of the 16 were involved in that in terms of playoff guys.
That's wild. And a majority of those you just mentioned, they're having to come down pit road again for damage repair. This is going to shake up some of the points by double-digit swings here as a result.
And what heartbreak for the 92. He thought he had another chance at it, another shot at it, but Lady Luck, unfortunately, is not on his side. Did not quite make it work. Car was loose on the bottom, trying to make it stick with 2 tires. Now we know that the cars are loose on 2 tires, at least up front. And I forgot to mention it. It's actually 10, because Alex Murray was also involved in that, who's 5 laps down. So that makes a total of 10 out of the 16 playoff guys. And we have, I believe, a total of just 2 of them that didn't even show up today. So, I mean, if you were in the playoffs and you missed that, that's a big deal for you.
Here we go. Top 3 are still on 2 tires, remember.
I think Hoytsma might be the one to actually come up and steal this. He's in a position now where he'll be in the second row. He's going to have the freshest tires out of anybody. And if he's able to make this car stick in the 97, I mean, that's a big, big deal. I mean, he has won a lot of races already this season. But one guy I'm looking at that hasn't won yet, that I hope is in a position to do so, that 15 car. Man, he really is doing a great job right now, and he just got to be able to control it. Is he going to be able to do it? I don't know. They're going down the backstretch right now. We have Nolan Hodson, Nicholas Vroman at the back of the field trying to catch up to the back of the field. I see DeCiani still sitting on pit road, so DeCiani's going to be the big loser here in terms of points. He's going to drop back outside the top 20 right now.
Here we go for the restart. 6 laps to go this time. Right now, Miller trying to get his first win of the season after what's been an up and down campaign, to say the very least. Delaney looking for another win. Green flag is out. Back underway. Bobby Anderson bouncing around. Still a little bit of an edge for second. Delaney slides up for it.
Miller's got the lead. He's hanging on to it right now. Here he goes. Alpha turn 2 is 1 car's into the wall. I think that's Paul Hill. Another car, Ralph Hutchinson in the wall. They're keeping it straight. No cars around. They're keeping it straight up front. This is the battle for the win with coming to 5 laps to go. The 8 car is losing more and more positions. Not what he needs, but up front, it is Robert Miller, Delaney, Hoytsma, Dyson, and Heitman, your top 5.
All of them trying to quickly step aside into line. Galata in front of Anderson. Less than 5 laps to go here from Darlington. A busy night for the Southern 500, a crown jewel race, $100 for the win. And right now, Miller is waltzing away up front.
No mistakes. Just keep the car underneath you, and you're looking in that mirror, and you're just hoping nobody gets even near you. As they're side by side for the 5th place spot, Galata trying to make a move to 76.
Miller's pushing hard. Oh, it's a
huge hit on the backstretch. 1 car almost goes upside down. It is Billy Brickley in the 44 car sitting on the inside of the racetrack. No caution yet, but that car is killed.
We stay green. Race control said they're staying green on the track. Derek Heitman still trying to pick up spots. He slides in front of Anderson. That's for 7th. This is getting very difficult for some of these drivers now. Delaney needs to go on push mode now. 2 laps to go, 3/10 back.
Man, just no mistakes. That 6 car's fast. He's trying to catch you, do everything he can. Robert Miller really wants this. He's running the fastest laps he's run all race. He's in a position now where he could probably hang on to this. He's just got to get 1 more lap in here. 1 more lap. That's all he's got to do.
Coming around to see the white flag this time by. Final time around for the Southern 500. It's been a season of bad luck. Fast speed for Miller from the onset, but bigger crashes whenever he's been in position for good runs to the checker flag. Now for Robert Miller, he looks to try and jump back into the top 20 in points and finally break through. Checker flag in hand, Robert Miller takes the win at Darlington and wins one of the crown jewels.
Oh, man, you know, he just had the biggest disappointment last week not being able to make the playoffs, but now this makes up for it big time. 6 gives him a shot on the back bumper. What a race for that Altus Esports entry. Man, Robert Miller getting the job done under intense pressure. Dyson gives him a shot on the back bumper. I mean, this is an absolute big day for that 15 car. Absolutely what he wanted to see. I cannot believe what I just saw, seeing that 15 get a win. It's a big deal, but it just comes 1 week short of making the playoffs. But, I mean, that doesn't matter to him right now. He's just so ecstatic that he just won a race here at Darlington in the Southern 500. Can you imagine that feeling? It's amazing.
Absolutely brilliant race tonight, and he gets to celebrate by burning it on down.
A lot of fighting after the race on the radio. Heitman's not happy with Cameron Stone. A lot of cars aren't happy all around. 44 was involved in that accident there at the end, and no caution was called for that heavy impact, almost flipping down the back. Able to keep the car pointed in the right direction and out of harm's way of the other cars. But Robert Miller hangs on and is going to be known as a full-length Cup Challenge winner and a crown jewel winner here at Darlington. That's amazing. It's so you just know that entire team's really happy. Let's take a look and see what happened to the 44 here. Coming to the final laps here. You see that right there? He's on the back bumper, Cameron Stone. He's just trying to hang on to position. Let's see what happened. Remember, 44, 57's in the wall riding out of turn number 4. That's something to keep an eye on. Let's see what happens here on the exit of turn 2. Going into the corner of the 44, has to lift for the 57. He does. Heading on the exit of the corner, 57's high up out of the groove, and yeah, 57 hit the wall and just turned to 44 hard into the inside wall. That's on Cameron, so that's another driver that Cameron took out there, so hate to see it.
Let's take a look at it again on this. Yeah, hit the wall. Well, you can also argue Brickley up the racetrack.
Absolutely not. No, when you hit the wall like that, you come down. It's part of it. You got to leave room. And unfortunately, it just overdrove the exit of the corner. That's exactly what he did. So feel bad for Brickley, but hey, I feel amazing for Robert Miller. Able to deny all the playoff guys a free ride through this first round. He's able to get the win today.
Let's take a look at the race results. Robert Miller comes out on top. Jonathan Delaney second. Hoytsma, Dyson, Gallant the top 5. Gitter, Heitman, Stephen Williams, O'Brien Jr., Anderson, your top 10, Kirk.
Finishing in 11th tonight will be Cameron Stone. Behind him will be Neil Pearson, followed by Ralph Hutchinson. Hoffman sitting there in 14th. Paul Hill in 15th. 16th will be Nolan Hodgson. Dave Hoytsma in 17th. Great run for him. Chad Center as well, top 20, 18th for Chad Center. Nicholas Vroman fell back after that restart back to 19th, and Tanner Marty will take 20th, one lap down.
William Owens in 21st. Billy Brickley falls down to 22nd. Alex Murray from the technical issue still gets 23rd. Komacheski, DeCiani, Maderos, Zosiak, Amon, Benefiel, and Jones, your top 30. Rest of the field featured Hunter, Princeton, DeWallen. In the running order here tonight, here from Darlington. Look top to bottom at the running order in this field as we get ourselves sorted out here to discuss things with some of the drivers still waiting for some of the competitors to make their way down. We do have your race winner standing by. Robert, you finally did it. You got a win. How does it feel?
I'm more pissed off than I was all year.
What happened, man?
Because I've had this speed all year, and if I finally get one, it doesn't matter anymore. You know what I mean?
But it's a crown jewel. You won $100.
I mean, money's nice, but still. There's more I could have.
Would you have preferred to finish second?
No. Well, I prefer Clayton to have won it, honestly. That way he can advance.
Well, with that being said, how would you describe the car to try and battle around this racetrack tonight? We've seen a lot of intense battling tonight.
The car's great. We were fighting tight all race. Just getting tighter. Just kept messing with it. Just kept playing with it. And then this track really came to at the end of that race. I was able to really rip the top line better than anybody else. We were hauling. That really came in very well. I was like, this is when I like Darlington the most, is when you can rip the top in the 3 and 4. So I was pretty happy with that.
So that in mind, now what's the approach from here after finally getting your first win of the season?
Get more. Win every race the rest of the year, just so nobody else wins, just to piss off every playoff driver we got. So that's my goal.
Any show that you like to give here tonight?
VRS, Logitech, not Logitech. Who are we? Altus Engineering. That one. Yeah. See, I know things. Yeah. We did great this year. We're doing good. We got a couple playoff drivers in Coke, and then we got one pioneer driver in this league. So we're doing pretty solid this year.
Congratulations on the run.
Thank you.
Robert Miller. He was actually surprisingly mad to win this race.
I
will
have
say.
never seen a driver win a crown jewel race for $100 and say the first words out of his mouth are, "I'm pretty pissed right now." I cannot believe what I just heard. That is wild.
Jonathan Delaney finished in second. He's with you.
Hey, Jonathan, man. Hey, you had a fast car all day, able to hang up at the front all day, but man, at the end, those Altus cars were just pretty quick. Was there anything you had for them there at the end?
Not really. I just needed the clean air, and I didn't have it. So, yeah, it was a really good night for us all around. Had good finishes in both the stages. Kept up front all night just about, and all in all, it was a pretty good night. Yeah, like short mid run, I really had nothing for the Altus cars and Gulata. They're just way too fast short run to keep up. But if there was any chance we had a long run, I think I would have been better and probably wouldn't be able to get by them. But that never happened. So unfortunate, but really good points night for us. Going round of 15. So feeling really good about our point situation, and we'll just keep going the next two races and all through the playoffs, just getting consistent finishes and be there the final four.
Well, Jonathan, I need to ask you, I mean, knowing that what we got next week, nobody's locked in yet. We got St. Louis, and then you go to Bristol. I need to ask you, which of the two tracks do you feel like you have a better shot at going into those 2 weeks?
Definitely Bristol. I really like Bristol. It's a track you can move around a lot, and so that's always fun. But yeah, I'd probably say definitely Bristol. Yeah, there's a chance for some wreckage, and lap cars can be a little bit of a pain, but it should be fun, and I'm looking forward to that race. So
awesome, man. Well, great job getting second tonight. Anybody you want to shout out here at the end?
Yeah, everyone at our RHM, especially Ralph. We had 2 cars in the top 3 tonight, and all in all, we had really good team finishes. So shout out to Ralph. He worked on this car all week, worked his butt off, and it showed. We had a really fast piece. I'd like to thank Logan Sheets up in the box, helping crew and all that. Helps the whole team out. So he's always appreciated. Thank you guys in the booth for broadcasting, and everyone who puts this league together. So that's all I got. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Jonathan, for joining us, and congratulations on the podium finish, second place today for you.
Thank you.
Back to you, Justin.
Well, Jonathan Delaney coming away in second spot. Lucas Hoitzma gets a top 3 here tonight. Lucas, how do you describe the progression on finding speed in the car? Because this first stage, it seemed like you were struggling. But the second and third stage, you seem to get stronger and stronger.
Yeah, well, first of all, glad to be talking to you guys again. Second night in a row. It's been a good run. I'm happy about this. And I started out pretty slow today. The heat was killing me. I was loose. I was tight. This car was just not driving with me. And it took the first, like you said, 2 stages for me to really figure out where my speed was. Started figuring out 1 and 2 a little more. And as the lights came on, the sun set, I felt really, really good. And by that point, I was so deep in field position that I needed to do some crazy things. I didn't end up doing those crazy things. They just started wrecking. So I got a bunch of spots there. That final wreck was very scary from my point of view. I think I might have pushed Gitter into it a little bit. So sorry to him for that if I did. But I'm so happy to start these playoffs off with a podium. It couldn't have got much better than that. The speed I've had the last few weeks hasn't been quite there. So happy to get it done tonight.
Happy that you got to the podium, absolutely, here. But in regards to this racetrack, how difficult was it to be able to manage the dirty air? It seemed like it was difficult to be able to build up runs.
It was incredibly hard to make a pass if you didn't have a significant speed advantage. I know I got stuck behind a few people quite a few times this race. I see other people. I could hear about other people that were getting stuck, and it was you basically all you had to do was run the top of 3 and 4, and nobody really had another way around you unless they gave you the bumper. So, yeah, that played a certain factor in all this. I think that final pit stop when everybody pit, you couldn't pass, so everybody just kind of threw a short pit out there and try to get track position there. So It was it's really tough to pass and just tough to drive. My wrists, my everything hurts. I cannot wait to go to bed. This was such a demanding racetrack, and I just love this place. It's so much fun to be able to race a racetrack.
With that in mind, what's the approach now going to be for St. Louis?
Well, like I said in my Xfinity interview last night, I kind of sucked there. So we're going to go in there, just bank it off my points from here, I think, and hopefully we can get something done. But I didn't feel too confident coming into tonight either, so maybe something will happen. We can get something done.
Any shows you'd like to give here tonight? Yeah,
just shout out to, first of all, to Ralph and everybody on the team. We had an incredible race car tonight. The speed, the setup carried me, to be honest. I did not have a podium finish in me, and this thing carried me to it. So thanks to them. Thanks to everybody over at Low Drag, my parents and everybody for watching, and everybody else who puts this thing on. It's been an awesome season so far.
Congratulations once again on the run here tonight.
Thank you.
Lucas Weitzman gets the top three. I'd like to thank the top three for speaking with us during post-race coverage here on Maconi Entertainment. Can tell you we do have some updated playoff standings available to look at. They were just released by the series. Dyson up 64. No one locked in, of course, with Robert Miller winning. Cam Stone, Adam Benefield, Alex Murray, Matt Long below the cut. And we just received word, another message came through in the Discord that Patrick Gitter would not be here the next 2 weeks here, Kirk. So the 21, who was fourth coming in to Gateway now, likely to also plummet.
Well, what I can tell you in terms of the biggest drivers that didn't quite do as good today, we already said Matthew Long did not start this race today. So with him being that, he's 23 points out. He's going to need to do really well in the next two races to be able to come back from that point deficit, probably in a must-win now. You got Alex Murray, Adam Benefield, and Cameron Stone. I got to tell you, you have Adam Benefield, who was plus 10 to the cut line prior to coming out. Now he's minus 5, so he fell below the cut. Same thing with Alex Murray. Alex Murray, he had that connection issue, and he was plus 1 going into this race. Now he's minus 8. But some drivers got out from the bottom of the cut line. Ralph Hutchinson, he was 4 behind. Now he's 8 above. He's 4 above, so he gained 8 points. So 4 plus to the cut line. That's big for Ralph Hutchinson. And another one, Sean O'Brien Jr., he was 6 points back. He gained 1, and now he's up to just 1 above the cut line. He's barely out. But one thing I gotta mention is I'm really surprised to see how many points Dyson was able to gain on the field. When he started this race, he was plus 40. Tonight, now, he is plus 64. So that is a big deal for Dyson to be able to gain 24 extra points, give himself even a bigger cushion in the event something happens in the next 2 weeks.
And now we'll have to see what happens when we go to Worldwide Technology Raceway. Next time out, once again, that will be September the 6th. Coverage starts approximately 8:25 p.m. Eastern Time. Be sure to tune in here on Maconi Entertainment. Well, on that note, it's just about time to say goodbye. Thank you for tuning in for tonight's action. Calling the action tonight was myself, Justin Pritz, alongside Kirk Mills, with Howie Burrows producing. Thanks to our viewers for watching tonight's racing action. Hope you stay tuned to our social media pages for our next race. Thanks to our staff for their work in bringing this racing to you. This has been a production of Maconi Entertainment. We'll see you next time.